All right, and we're back. So hopefully this will carry on now, and we will be live. Hopefully. We shall see. We shall see. Latest. No. Okay. How about no? Go live. There it is. This is so weird. It's so weird. This is YouTube is being weird today. There it is. Okay, so there it is. Okay. We're good to go now. I think we're good to go now. Hello again. We're going to get started like pretty quick because we don't have time to wait a whole lot. We already we're gonna end up running an ad again because god damn it, what the hell. We'll talk through the ad, huh? But anyway, 834 follows today. Almost to 130 subs on YouTube. We're sitting at 49 subs. We've got our book cup here. There we go. We got our cup of coffee. And our book. Anyway, yeah, didn't do much yesterday. I hung out with some friends. Played some games last night with Forge Cosplay. He's got his internet in his basement now, which is prima. It's nice. You can see his face while he's gaming. It's epic and good. I love it. Let's see. I uninstalled a thing today that came with my motherboard software, and I think it fixed my cloud gaming problem. I will let you guys know as I update it, but I think I fixed it, which makes me excited because now I can play the games in here with you guys, where it's cool, and maybe we'll see. Everybody, go check out the Halo Collector, and he's got a group on Facebook. He just opened the Halo cards that were released by Upper Deck. It's a collectible card series. They've got autographed cards and by actors like Steve Downs, Jen Taylor, all of the things. So you can go and check that out. He said he opened a box on live stream last night and posted the VOD. So you guys, if you guys are interested, I didn't even know that these cards existed until he told me about them. So, if that's something you're interested in, go check it out. That's really cool stuff. Let's see, what else? What else do I have on the docket for the moment? It's a really good question. I'm trying to figure out. Well, I'm trying to understand. I'm trying to figure out. Okay, this one here. I want to go. Nope, don't do that. Okay, there we go. We're gonna take this and we're gonna go edit. Here, cancel. We're gonna take this and we're gonna go. We're gonna no cancel. We're gonna take this and we're gonna go. Guess we'll just click on this guy and do it like this. Oh, nice. Sorry, we're I'm trying to get this thing right so it goes where it's supposed to be and all of the things, so that, you know, Lord Adam comes by. There it is. So Lord Adam comes by later and is happy that that I got it. There we go. We got it. I fixed it. Yay! All right, check it out. The ad break's gonna start. When we come back, we're gonna start the book. I'm gonna do all the other things while it's going. So here we go. We're starting a little bit late, but it's okay. Here's the bookmark. I'm gonna skip the spiel. You know what it is if you've been watching. Someday we'll edit this down. And here we go. Here goes the book. Welcome. Again, we're reading Halo Glasslands. There you go. Page 62. We're in the middle of a paragraph. In the middle of a chapter. We're gonna pick up right where we left off. Threat analysis, Wing, Bravo 6, Sydney, January 26, 2553. Mal Geffen had never liked corridors, especially dimly lit ones. It was a weird phobia for a man who was happy to free fall into the pitch black unknown or drop from low orbit behind enemy lines in a glorified coffin. He'd given up trying to fathom it out. He just knew that he didn't like what he could see or couldn't see in this case. The double doors at the end of the passage were picked out by emergency lighting, the kind you had to follow in the event of a fire. You still with me, Vaz? Vaz's parade boots clicked behind him on the tiles. I warned you that it'd make you go deaf. It's the Wendy house. What is? This is where the Fleet Brass used to wargame and run tabletop exercises. Mal's voice echoed. He dropped to a whisper as they came to a halt in front of the doors. Wendy house. You know, where kids play at being grown-ups. They stared at the security panel. Vaz shrugged, still miserable as sin. It was going to take Mal some time to make him forget that useless tart who dumped him. He'd keep trying. The kid needed to get out more. Cheer up. It might be a stripper and a cake, Mal said. He still had no idea why they were even here. It wasn't going to be a celebration, that was for sure. Surprise party for the conquering heroes. Vaz put his palm on the entry panel, unmoved. Yes, I tripped over all the rose petals on the red carpet. The security doors opened, and Mal took a pace inside. The smell of cleaning fluid and musty carpet hit him. The room looked like it hadn't been used in years, its walls lined with old chart display panels showing trouble spots that hadn't been active for decades. Earth colonies in dozens of systems, human-on-human violence. War had been a lot simpler then, or so his granddad had told him. He walked around the tables, pushed together into a rectangle, wiping his finger across the unconvincing oak-affected surface, but found no dust at all. Are you here for the free sandwiches? 'Cause there aren't any. It was a woman's voice. Mal guessed Canada, Northeast. She emerged from behind one of the tote boards where make-believe generals had once tallied imaginary KIAs and counterinsurgency battles that never happened. About 30. Asian and wearing a flight suit with a pilot's beret and sergeant stripes. And an ODST 10th Battalion badge. One of us. Well, that's something. Her name tag said Devereaux L. Either she hadn't been told this was a number 3's occasion, or she'd come straight from a sortie. You're not a stripper, Mal said. No, are you? Because if you are, I want my money back. We better keep our clothes on then. Mal held out his hand for shaking. Seeing his formalities had fallen by the wayside, Mal Geffen, and this is Vasily Beloy, isn't a stripper either. Any idea why we're here, Sergeant? Leanne Devereaux. She looked Vaz over. Mal hoped she was just checking him out, because Mal was always ready to dive in and ask what the hell was so interesting. Civvies stared at Scars. ODSTs knew better, and Vaz didn't need reminding that he didn't look as good as he used to. No, she said, not a clue. Mal stood there in silence for a moment, just looking around and evaluating the environment. It's some psych test, isn't it? Some study into how damaged we are and how they can save money putting us right. It didn't take long for the bean counters to crawl out of their holes once the shooting was over. Devereaux tilted her head on one side and gave Vaz a mocking and wary look. Maybe she hadn't even noticed the scar. Weren't you the guys who hijacked the Spirit to exfil from Imber? The hinge heads left the keys in the ignition, Vaz said, so we took it for a burn. But where is it now? Mal winked. That's for us to know, and the Corps to find out. The doors opened and cut short any more bragging about the Covenant dropship. That was the problem with most of the meeting rooms and offices in Bravo 6. They were soundproofed, and nobody could hear anyone coming until it was way too late. The tallest, scariest woman Mal had ever seen stalked into the room. Even without Mjolnir armor, it was obvious that she was what she was. Mal had never seen a Spartan in the flesh before. She looked more unreal in her UNSCN uniform than she would have in armor, he decided. He cast an eye over her sleeve. Morning, Petty Officer. He outranked her, but he still had to tilt his head back to look her in the eye. Christ. She had to be over 2 meters tall, easily. Good to see the Navy's managed to drag itself out of its bunk before lunch. Mal expected to get a bit of abusive but friendly banter back from her. That was the way of inter-service diplomacy, the custom of centuries. But the Spartan just looked down at him, unmoved. He couldn't work out if she was very blonde or completely gray. Naomi, 010, staff, she said. I believe we're waiting for Admiral Perengoski. That's the idea. Mal couldn't read her at all. She's a bloody Valkyrie. She really is. Yeah, we are. Mal edged away to the tote board and feigned intense interest in the list of unit acronyms scribbled beside actions on the incident timelines. Vaz and Devereaux sided up to him. The three of them had already closed ranks without even thinking about it. Here we go, Mal murmured. They're going to inject us full of shit and put bolts through our necks. Frankentroopers. Ah, that's just stories, Devereaux said. She didn't sound convinced, though. But if it's not, I'm sure as hell not volunteering. Naomi, the Valkyrie, interrupted. Officer on deck. Mal turned and snapped to attention. The reflex of 15 years, slipping instantly behind the facade of the stony-faced, unreadable ODST. He decided his guess about a psych test was right. So this was Parangoski. Admirals never retired, technically speaking. But Mal was sure nobody really expected the old salts to front up and earn it for real once they were past their 70s. Parangoski walked in slowly, with a cane for support, somehow managing to be both frail and terrifying at the same time. The crazy old woman who scared all the kids in the neighborhood, but she obviously wasn't crazy. Mel met her eyes for a disturbing second, and fully believed the rumors that she could erase anyone stupid enough to cross her. "Stand easy," she said. "My apologies for the location, but strength through paranoia is my motto. Meet Captain Osmond and Professor Phillips. They already know all about you. Take a seat." Phillips was a bearded bloke in his 30s who had civvy hired help written all over him. Osmond was tall, not Spartan tall, but conspicuous just the same. Parangoski settled down at the far corner of the tables and gestured to them to sit. The old girl handed 6 data pads to Osmond, who passed them around. Mal didn't get a chance to look to Vaz for a reaction before his screen flashed into life and told him the captain was Saren Osmond. Oni. And Phillips was a Sangheili expert from Wheatley University. Debrief them about what? The Bloody Spirit? What was so special about that? "I'll get to the point," Parangoski said. "You're under no obligation to undertake this mission." That sealed the deal for Mal. ODSTs didn't turn down tasking. Any tasking. They'd automatically volunteered for everything and anything, now and forever. World without end, amen. On the day they'd turned up for the selection board, being RTU'd, returned to unit, sent back to their original regiment or ship or squadron in whatever country because they didn't make the grade as a hell jumper, was the worst thing that could have happened to them. Death was minor embarrassments by comparison. Parangoski fixed Vaz with a watery but intimidating gaze. "Corporal, what's the best time to kick a man?" "When he's down, ma'am," Vaz said quietly, "and preferably in the nuts, hard as you can." Mal could have sworn that Parangoski smiled. It was more like a twitch of the lip, but he was pretty sure Vaz had hit the target. "A man after my own heart," she said. "Very well. I'm asking you all to go and kick the Sangheili in their collective nuts in ways that might seem foreign to you. I want you to sow discontent and strife. They're already infighting, and I want to keep that going until we're ready to finish the job. Anyone not keen on that, there's no shame in refusing. I've seen your service records, and you've all more than earned the right to say no." Yeah, Mal was pretty sure she knew every last thing about all of them, right down to how many sugars they took in their coffees. So she had to know the answer she'd get. It was still a decent gesture, though. Nobody said a word. Osmond seemed to keep eyeing the Spartan, and the Spartan kept giving her a furtive glance, as if something was bothering her. They were both roughly the same age, so maybe there was some weird alpha-female power struggles going on. Mal made a mental note to stay well clear. "I'm up for it, ma'am," Devereaux said. "But how foreign is this going to get? Because we're fine with assassination and sabotage. I know, I'm talking about arming Sangheili dissidents. Misinformation, all deniable." Parangoski squinted at her datapad for a moment. "You're going to have to think on your feet. Intel's very patchy now, and we're not sure exactly where the fault lines are forming between the various factions, so you'll be gathering information as you go. I wish I could prepare you more, though." Mal knew that Oni were the law unto themselves, and the one question he learned never to ask was why. It was always how and when. He certainly didn't plan to ask if every member of the UNSC Security Committee was on board with this Parangoski op. Devereaux didn't seem to worry about any of that. We'll manage, ma'am. So, no peace treaty then? Admiral Hood believes it's possible to reach a formal deal with the Arbiter, Parangosky said. But he's going to be busy dealing with the colonies now that we need to bring our wayward sheep back into the fold. Mal thought she'd avoided the question until the answer sank in. Oh God, she's even sidelining Hood now. Never mind, that's so far above my pay grade that I'd need a telescope to see it. He had been given a lawful order. Well, he hadn't been given an unlawful one yet. Phillips was still sitting there with an expression of a rabbit about to be hit by a truck that it just hadn't seen coming. He hadn't said a word yet. Vaz glanced at him. So what is the professor's status, ma'am? Vaz asked. We're looking after him, yes? No, he'll be armed, and he'll take his chances, just like you. Parangosky hovered on the edge of looking concerned. You'll have to forget the chain of command and make your own decisions out there. Our comms are a shambles. We've got relays down. Our people out there are struggling to get words to us. And the colonies? Well, they've all gone silent. We don't know whether they're a smoking heap of charcoal or if they've just decided to sever links with us at all. Mal wants to ask why she'd pick them. He could understand the Professor, the Spook, and the Spartan, but there were still plenty of ODSTs around, and any of them could have done this job. It obviously wasn't a lottery, or else Vaz wouldn't have been here too. He'd find out sooner or later it didn't make any difference anyway. He was going. We're shipping out in the morning, Osmond said. If you want to do any drinking tonight, do it within the complex. Your professional effects are being brought over from the barracks. We'll transfer to the ship at midpoint. It's Port Stanley. She's got the latest Forerunner enhancements to her drives, so we can cover a lot of space fast. A Corvette's a big vessel for 6, but we'll have an AI to handle her. Parangosky laid her pad down like a winning hand of cards. Come on, BB, don't be coy. Introduce yourself. Mal had never worked with a smart AI. A ship would drop him and his mates, and if they were lucky, it would show up again and extract them when the job was done. But he didn't get to play with any of the technology that Oni took for granted. He waited for the hologram to appear. When a blue cube materialized in the center of the tables, it was a bit of an anticlimax. He'd expected something a little more exotic. He'd heard all the hairy stories about the weird forms that AI avatars would take. That'd be me, the blue cube said, in a news anchor's tenor voice. The taxi driver, black box. Airport runs are my specialty. Mal leaned back in his seat and caught Vaz's eye for a second. He looked carefully blank, like he always did. We don't do PSYOP. We never worked with Spartans before, and we're definitely not trained for this spook stuff. But how hard can it be? They were ODSTs. They could do anything. It was all about the right attitude and a commando's state of mind. Hi, BB, Mal said. Take us to Hingehead World, then. Chapter 3. It's been announced today that Admiral Lord Hood, Chief of Naval Operations, is to head a diplomatic mission to the surviving Earth colonies to discuss reconstruction. UEG sources say that some colonies have rebuffed the offer and won't negotiate with the administration. They feel abandoned by them. In other news, UEG President Chirac has unveiled her new cabinet. Among the casualties is Colonies Minister David Agnoli, who has been replaced by Akio Oduya. This is from Waypoint News Update, January 2553. Forerunner Dyson Sphere, Onyx 4 hours, into reconnaissance patrol. Mendez did the calculations in his head again as he waded through long grass that left burrs on his pants. 3,000 times 3 divided by 500 equaled 18. They could eke out their emergency rations for 18 days if they scraped by on a rock-bottom 500 calories per day. 18 days eating that crap. It's going to seem like a hell of a lot longer. How bad can Lizard be? I ate a lot worse in escape and evasion training. As far as he knew, Halsey didn't carry any escape belt, which meant she didn't have any survival pack that included 3 bars of the most foul-tasting but nutritiously dense substance known to man. Anyone who had to survive on Special Forces emergency bars found regular MREs to be damn 5-star restaurant experiences by comparison. It was just as well the escape belt included an animal snare plus a hook and line. Mendez was up for cooking anything that moved, but he and the Spartans would have to pool their supplies to feed Halsey if push came to shove. He wasn't sure if he resented that or not. Okay, stay hydrated, and hope the Forerunners thought of everything. The 2 structures looked more like old-fashioned cooling towers the closer he got to them. Their walls seemed to be either tiled or decorated with ashlars. It was hard to tell with Forerunner structures because they had a bit of shifting and changing moment to moment. But he could definitely see a grid of indented lines at regular intervals. The grass gave way to scattered trees. Mendez kept a wary eye above him, expecting more flying cylinders to buzz them. Tom caught up with him, as if he was going to ask a question, but he didn't say anything. They walked side by side in silence for a while, picking their way through the trees, dividing their attention between scanning for possible threats in the branches and checking the ground beneath them for anything edible. Mendez couldn't see Tom's expression. He knew him well enough by now to pick up his mood, though. "You okay, son?" Mendez asked. "Yes, Chief." "You know you did all you could." "Yeah, it's just the first time someone sacrificed their life for me. Deliberately, I mean." Mendez knew that that was hard, and that it would only get harder until Tom made peace with himself about it. But it was way too soon. Kurt, William, Dante, and Holly weren't cold in their graves yet, and everyone, himself included, was still at the stage where the deaths hadn't become an integral part of a new reality. Mendez found himself thinking and acting as if nothing much had happened, and then suddenly remembering who he'd lost. He hadn't forgotten about it. It was just the grief had been set aside out of habit, because that was the only way to cope. And every so often it would come crashing back on him, triggered by a dumb thought, like needing to tell Kurt something and then remembering that he was dead. They didn't have a war to fight anymore. Terrible as it was, combat could be a blessing. It didn't give you time to think until much later. Now they all had plenty of time on their hands to brood about the people that they had lost. "We don't know he's dead," Tom said. "Only that he didn't make it into the sphere." Mendez just looked at him. He didn't believe in humoring anyone. It didn't spare them the reality that would eventually hit them all the harder. "Even a Spartan can't hold off a Covenant army," he said. "And even Spartans lose one buddy too many and start to click." Tom did a quick, reluctant nod that seemed almost apologetic, as if he was embarrassed to be caught clutching at straws. Mendez turned slowly and took a few paces backward to check behind. But he was more in an eye on Halsey. "You wouldn't stop at anything, would you, Doc?" Kelly ambled along beside her, looking more like close protection. She didn't seem remotely troubled by the fact that Halsey had abducted her for this jaunt. Not for the first time either, goddamn. The thing was The things we treat as normal, the things we accept. I used to be a regular guy, and now, look at this crap. The crap I get up to. Halsey glanced at him for a second, all suspicion. Yeah, so Ackerson took her research, and Mendez had cooperated with him. So what? She'd already given up on the Spartan program, because she didn't think her next tranche of candidates was good enough. What did she think this was? Some private hobby? That all those lives lost and all that pain could just be flushed because it didn't meet her personal standards? If she'd called it a day because her conscience had kicked in, that would have been different. But it hadn't. And Ackerson, unlovable dick or not, at least made sure that lives spent on the program hadn't been wasted. Wonder where he is now. Listen to yourself, Mendez. Denial. You're still in goddamn denial. The UNSC used child soldiers, under 10s, tin pot dictators, who did that ended up charged with war crimes. What does that make you? This sentence is absolutely cumbersome. I'll try it one more time for you. Listen to yourself, Mendez. Denial. You're still in goddamn denial. The UNSC used child soldiers, under 10s. Tin pot dictators who did that ended up charged with war crimes. What does that make you? Mendez forced himself to concentrate on the crisis right in front of him. Being cooped up with Halsey and the fruits of their guilty labor was only going to get harder. He brought the patrol to a halt 50 meters from the tower to assess the entrance and the safest way of approach, looking up at the concave walls for anything that resembled doors. He couldn't see any, but that didn't necessarily mean that there was no entrance. He opened the radio attached to his collar. Lieutenant, we've reached the foot of the tower. We don't see you. We took a detour, Chief. Fred sounded upbeat. Got something to show you. We're headed for your position. The trees and grass ended 15 meters from the tower, and a paved perimeter surrounded the entire structure, like a service road made of completely regular flagstones. Mendez walked a few meters along the wall, peering at the pale gold stone blocks in hope of seeing a hairline split that would indicate an opening. He didn't plan to touch it until the other squad caught up with him, just in case he triggered an unknown mechanism that swallowed them up in another prospective sphere. Halsey wandered along behind him. She didn't touch the wall either. If this place is a survival bunker, then there has to be more here than supplies and accommodations for sitting this out, Mendez said. There'll be whatever the Forerunners needed to start rebuilding after it was safe to come out. Weapons, comms, and transport. How did they get ships in here? Kelly took off her helmet to scratch her scalp. Let's hope they were as smart about expiration dates as they were with dimensional physics. But how would they know when it was safe outside? Olivia asked. Okay, they'd have a good idea how long it would take to wipe out the flood. But if all that was left of their entire civilization was holed up here, they'd want to make absolutely sure. Now there's a good question. Halsey rummaged in her bag and took out a water bottle. Mendez wondered if she'd hidden another sidearm in there. He wasn't planning to give her a weapon. He wasn't planning to give her weapon back to her until he was sure she wasn't going to pull another stunt like the hijack. This might not have been their only bunker, of course. It's a big galaxy, but they'd still want to be able to check outside before they open the door, perhaps even communicate with the other S.H.I.E.L.D. worlds. But who put the katana and the other guys in the cryopods, Mendez asked. He wondered why he hadn't worried about that detail sooner. Doesn't that bother anyone? Perhaps we should be asking why they decided to get into them instead, Halsey said. Sounds like an assumption, Doctor. Mendez knew she hated that. She took a pull from the bottle and put it back in her bag, ignoring the bait. He stared hard at the leather, looking for an outline of a weapon, but the bulges just looked like women's stuff in squared-edged books or data pads. "So let's see what we find, Chief," she said carefully. Mendez checked his watch, wondering just how much out of sync with real time the Dyson sphere would be. Halsey gave the impression of being able to work out that kind of stuff on a napkin. He hoped that she could. Can any of them really know if time was suspended in here, like it seemed to be in those pods? What did that feel like? The crunch of boots on gravel and then on paving heralded Fred's arrival with Lucy, Linda, Mark, and Ash. Fred had something in his hand. Mendez's reflex reaction was to wonder what the hell he was doing with tennis balls, but then he realized Fred was clutching 3 spherical yellow fruits one-handed. He held them out to Mendez. "We ought to run tests on these first," Fred said. "I've logged the location. Anyone got an assay pack?" Mendez sniffed one of the fruits cautiously, picking up a faint smell of cedarwood. Its texture was like sticky suede, almost quince-like. But it wasn't a quince. He hadn't had to do this bushcraft stuff for years. "Over to you, Doctor." He handed her the fruits, and she put them in her bag. "I've got some test strips for cyanogenic glycosides and alkaloids somewhere in my kit. I'll take a look at them later," Halsey said. "Let's find a way to get into this tower." Fred motioned for everyone to move. "Okay, people, spread out and take a section of the wall each. This tower first, then we'll try the other one. If anything opens, nobody steps in, just call it. I don't want anyone stuck on the wrong side of a door we can't reopen." The scale and lateral curve of the tower only sank in when Mendez began inching his way along the section of ashlars. He realized that he couldn't see Mark to one side of him or Linda to the other unless he took a few paces back from the wall. He ran his hands over the stone, not sure what he was feeling for, but expecting some kind of mechanism to detect him, or either open a hatch or at least display some controls. All the Forerunner technology he'd encountered so far did this kind of thing, but the wall remained steadfast and unresponsive. "If you build a bomb shelter, you make it easy to find a way to get inside." Halsey walked past him. She wasn't searching the wall, but pacing slowly along the paved perimeter with her eyes on the flagstones. "Imagine it. Things have gone badly wrong. The flood is overrunning the galaxy, and all the Forerunners in the sector pile in here as fast as they can. No matter how advanced they were, they'd need to orient themselves." "Then why not put the signs near the front door?" Mendez asked. "What if they never finish this place? Because they're not around anymore, are they?" Halsey said nothing but walked on, head down, the soles of her black loafers tapping on the flagstones. It was too easy to see the Forerunners as not simply advanced but godlike, just like the Covenant did. But Mendez knew all too well that brilliant technology didn't guarantee infallibility. Even humans hadn't always thought of their own gods as being perfect, honest, or even competent. Ah well, he promised himself a few comforting drags on his cigar in 2 hours. The gold wall felt oddly warm and smooth under his fingers, like living skin. "Maybe we need to go back and check the portal area." Click, click, click. "Jackpot," Halsey called. "Look." Mendez turned and jogged after her. All the Spartans converged on the same spot. Halsey was standing with her weight on one foot, the other held a little off the ground, as if she'd been frozen in the middle of playing a kid's game of hopscotch. She'd looped the strap of her bag around both shoulders like a satchel, adding the impression of a middle-aged schoolgirl. "So this is what happens if you tread on the cracks," she said. Mendez stared at the flagstones. They'd come alive with pulsing illuminated symbols, a straight line of Forerunner glyphs picked out in soft blue light, led along the paving and curved up a wall to waist high. Halsey walked along the line. For all Mendez knew, it could have been a warning to keep clear. He'd find out the hard way. "Can you read that?" he asked. "It's a sequence of numbers," Halsey said, "but beyond that, no idea." She reached out and touched the symbol, the top symbol. Nothing happened for a few moments, but then Linda and Fred swung around ready to open fire, as if they'd heard something that Mendez hadn't. He looked back at Halsey, just as the wall above him split along a neat vertical line and parted all the way down to the ground. Nothing actually moved. The stone blocks just suddenly vanished. In his world, doors that suddenly flew open tended to spew small arms fire. The Spartans split instantly into two groups without a word and stacked on either side of the openings. Rifles ready. Halsey froze, and Mendez reminded himself to give her his pistol. "Steady," Fred said. "Check first, shoot later." Mendez moved around to face the opening head on. He could see movement in his optics, and his fingers began tightening onto the trigger. Then the movement resolved into gliding gray cylinders, like the ones that had swooped on them earlier. There were 6 this time. They moved out of the opening and arranged themselves along the wall at head height. Mendez wasn't sure if they could detect weapons, but they didn't seem to be making any defensive moves. "So what are you?" Halsey murmured. One cylinder separated from the rest and came to halt just in front of her face. To her credit, she didn't even blink. "What are you monitoring?" "That's what you're doing, isn't it?" The cylinder moved from Halsey to Mendez, hovering so close that he felt it was staring into his eyes, even though he couldn't see a single damn detail on it. He held his breath until it moved away, smooth and silent, to hover in front of Kelly's visor. She stood motionless with her rifle in one hand. Then she grabbed it. As fast as the chameleon ambushing a fly, it was so quick that Mendez didn't even have time to flinch. "Gotcha," she said, peering at it. The cylinder didn't seem to be struggling. The other cylinders drifted away into the trees, as if they'd had better things to do than hang around the amusing humans. "It feels like it's not here. It doesn't weigh anything." Kelly flexed her gloved fingers around it. "Wow, this is the strangest thing I've ever felt." Halsey held her hand out and took the cylinder cautiously. She drew her chin in, frowning. "I see what you mean. That's, well, extraordinary. Better hope I'm right, and that it's just some kind of recon drone." Mendez resisted the urge to touch it and see what all the fuss was about. "We're still making a lot of assumptions, Doctor. Forerunner technology can recognize humans, so I'd call it an educated guess." Lucy peered around the opening in the wall, and Mendez gestured to her to cover him while he checked inside. He couldn't see anything. Then the whole damned interior lit up like Christmas, flooding the walls with lights and symbols from waist height to about 5 meters, reminding him of the control room of a power station, but it was completely, eerily silent. Lucy, just as silent, explored the chamber. It was about 30 meters wide, but Mendez couldn't see a ceiling in the gloom above. When he glanced back over his shoulder, Fred and Kelly were in the doorway, silhouetted against the daylight. "There's no way he can jam this open if it decides to shut," Fred said. Mendez felt they didn't have much choice but to explore the place. "We'll have to take our chances." Then Lucy grabbed his forearm so hard that it hurt. He spun around. She made a shut-up gesture, fingered to lower third of her visor, and pointed into the shadows on the left. The poor kid hadn't spoken a word for 8 years, but he knew how to listen to her. He held up his hand to stop everyone and edged forward. Maybe she'd picked up something in her infrared filter. He still couldn't see anything, but then he heard it. Something was moving away from them. It wasn't a cylinder. It sounded like wet leather slapping against stone, followed by the clatter of metal, getting fainter and almost echoing. Something was moving down a passage. The sound died away into silence again. Mendez nodded at Lucy. Halsey crept up to them, ignoring the order to stay put, still clutching the cylinder. "What is it?" she asked. "No idea. But that didn't sound like a central heating boiler to me. But we were the first in here. We activated the core room. No, we just found a way in. Mendez checked his ammo clip and headed into the shadows, stomach knotted tight. But someone else had found it first. UNSC, Port Stanley, midpoint Anchorage, 10 minutes before jump to slip space, January 27, 2553. Osman tried the CO seat on the bridge and felt small and alone. She hadn't expected that. It certainly didn't give her a thrill. I've always been a spy in a blue suit. She never felt like a real naval officer. Oni had taken custody of her as a 14-year-old, educated her, put her through the Oni Commander's program, and reinvented her. She deployed an Oni fleet before, but she'd never had day-to-day command of a ship. Now she was going to find out the hard way if she could cut it. Well, Parangoski thinks I can. In case you're interested, BB said, I'm doing the final launch checks. Would you like me to spell them out for you? Osman couldn't see him. She stared straight ahead at the disk of Mars, a small rusty smudged frame in a light-speckled blackness in the forward view screen. I trust you, BB. He could have left it all to the dumb AI, of course. Where is everybody? Secure for launch? The ODSTs are in the ward room. They're very excited about having their own cabins. I can tell from their bio signs, poor little waifs. Don't stalk them, BB. It's creepy. Just monitoring, Captain. And Phillips is checking out the crates in the cargo bay. I think reality has drawn on him. Are you happy having him embarked? Not really. OPSEC worries. All comms go through me, Captain. I meant, when we get back, I'll guarantee his silence, one way or another. I'll bet. Osman suddenly needed something to focus on. She turned around in her seat because BB's voice felt as if it was coming from behind her. He was, of course, everywhere at once. He was in every part of the ship's systems, observing via every monitor and every camera, controlling every aspect of the ship's operation, in touch with Earth, and able to hear and respond to any call sign in the galaxy. Omniscient and omnipotent. For the few years he had to live anyway, and AI was a short-lived god. When she turned back to face forward, BB materialized a meter in front of the bulkhead. And where's Naomi, she asked. Heading this way, BB said. You might as well tell her. The Spartan had been giving Osman odd looks all the way out here in the shuttle. Naomi seemed to realize she knew her but couldn't place the face. Osman thought she'd changed a lot since her early teens, but some features didn't alter with age. Yes, there were already enough secrets to keep from one another. Osman got up and stood, facing the doorway onto the bridge, resting her backside on the comms console. I'll tell the others too. If we're running arms for the Sangheili psychos, I suppose my status pales into insignificance. No reason why I can't. Is here. BB moved around to settle in her line of sight. The Admiral gave you carte blanche, weapons-free, repel all borders, no prisoners, etc., etc. Do whatever you need to get this job done. You just don't get caught. There's a deer. BB had a rather arch way with him. Osman found herself smiling. Dear. Things were going to get very informal. She could hear Naomi coming now. The steady thud of her boots on the deck as she strode along the passage in the massively heavy armor. She didn't actually need it at the moment. Spartans had their comfort blankets too. How would I have coped with the Mjolnir? Would I feel naked without it? Would I know where I ended and it began? Naomi loomed in the doorway. She had the faint frown that said a memory was still eluding her. Ready to slip, ma'am. 5 minutes, Osman realized BB had disappeared. Or at least his avatar had. Anything you want to ask me, Naomi? Using her name rather than addressing her as Spartan got a slight reaction. Osmond noted a couple of rapid blinks. "Yes, ma'am," Naomi said at last. "I think I know you, but I don't know where from. It's been a long time, and my name wasn't Osmond back then. Like you, I didn't have a surname." Osmond had rarely come face to face with Spartans from her batch. On the handful of occasions when she had, she found they were pretty good at forgetting because they'd never been made to forget so much. She concentrated on Naomi's pale gray eyes. Searching for the moment, the penny dropped. The Spartan had now stopped blinking completely. Naomi struggled with the name. Sarah. Saren 019. Remember me now? As Osmond watched the revelation build on Naomi's face, she felt the tension drain from her own shoulders. The relief was both unexpected and incredible. She hadn't realized she'd been so worried about it. But it's out. Thank God for that. Someone other than me and the select few at Oni now know who I am. Nearly half of the 75 children who'd been taken for the program didn't make it past augmentation treatments at 14. The few who didn't die were left disabled. Osmond didn't know what Halsey had actually told her successes about the fate that had befallen the failures. "We thought you died," Naomi said. Well, that answered Osmond's question. "I did, near as damn. Oni put me back together again. So now you know. And don't tell me how normal I look. I still have some enhancements, but nothing skeletal." All Osmond had needed was to see the look on Naomi's face. It was a kind of validation. She had wiped out of existence twice. First as a kidnapped kid taken to Reach, then erased from the Spartan program. But now nobody could erase her again. I exist, I'm here, and I'm going to head up Oni. Naomi settled at one of the comm stations and secured the seatbelt as if nothing had happened. "We'd better get going, ma'am." Osmond wasn't sure if the subject was closed or not. If it wasn't, it would have to wait. She was about to summon the ODSTs. When they arrived on the bridge with Phillips and BB, all three of them, even Devereaux, stood at ease, looking like everyone's worst nightmare. Unsmiling, unblinking, and silent. Mal and Vaz had "Do not spill my beer" written all over them. It was partly the buzz-cut hair and the complete absence of expression, but also, damn, Osmond couldn't quite pin it down. Whatever it was, she was sure she could pick an ODST out of a lineup every time, male or female. It was the earnest hardness, that sense that they would do absolutely anything they were asked to do, however insane or impossible. And then once they were let off the leash, only shooting them would stop them. "Cabin's okay?" she asked. Mal thought a little. His file said he was 33, but he looked younger, with the fuzz of dark hair and just a few lines around the eyes that suggested he actually spent a lot of time laughing. Vaz Ho managed to look both time-worn and 20-something at the same time. Had one of those lean, high cheekbone Slavic faces and a spectacular scar the full width of his jaw. He didn't seem the laughing kind at all. "Brammers, ma'am," Mal said, deadpan. Osmond assumed from his tone that was high praise. We never normally get a pit to ourselves. Vaz is delirious about it, honest. I'll take your word for it. The only problem with drawing ODST recruits from all nations and all three services was that many of them were completely unintelligible, even in English. It was part of their curious charm. There's a set of upgraded recon armor for each of you, too. Thank you, ma'am. Luxury? Okay, secure for launch, BB. You have the ship. Phillips never said a word as he buckled in. Osmond caught his eye. If anything, he looked amused, as if she hadn't fooled him at all about what Oni was actually up to. BB appeared, settled on the console in front of her. 30 seconds, receiving final updates. You could have sedation, you know. Osmond couldn't hide a thing from him. She knew she'd kissed goodbye to privacy before she was old enough to understand what it was. But an AI could know more about someone than even their own mother. Protective or not, it rattled her. BB had access to every cockpit recording and medical report, and he could probably pick up her pulse rate, too, the intrusive little bastard. She heard one of the ODSTs trying to stifle a yawn. Nothing fazed them. Port Stanley's drives rose from a faint whine to what she could only describe as an intense non-sound that made her brain feel like it was being sucked down her eustachian tubes. It was too late to stop. The drives were spooled up and committed to jump now. I can deal with this, she said. Late data burst incoming. Never mind, that'll have to wait. 5 seconds. BB executed a smart 180-degree spin. Place your bets on where we merge, ladies and gentlemen. And jump. Osmond never looked at the external view. She couldn't. Her gut plummeted and went on falling. Her brain told her she was tumbling head over heels down an unending tunnel. Even though she could see her own fingers digging into the padded black armrest of her chair, her eyes flickered uncontrollably as they tried to make sense of the misleading impulses from her brain. She was falling, completely out of control. And that was all there was to it. The sickening sensation behind her eyes crept down her neck and made her hunch for her shoulders. Then she hit a brick wall. For a moment, she was swaying horizontally on a storm-tossed deck, and then everything slowed to a complete stop. Throwing up wasn't a very captainly thing to do. She gritted her teeth and waited for it to pass. She must have sat there much longer than she realized. One of the ODSTs leaned over her. "You okay, ma'am?" Devereaux asked. Osmond made an effort to stand up and look vaguely in command. "Jumps don't agree with me. Like Nelson. Never did his reputation any harm, though. Nelson had a translite drive, did he? Well, that explains Trafalgar." "No, ma'am. But he'd always puked his ring when he went into the sea." Osmond smiled despite herself. She was grateful not to see her breakfast in her lap. Could be worse, then. The view from the forward bulkhead projection was a dense, featureless void, far blacker than normal space. But it wasn't just Port Stanley that had slipped into a different dimension. Osmond found herself in a new reality as well. This wasn't Oni. Nobody here was calculating the best moment to make a play for her job or send their AI to hack her system. The people around her were just doing their jobs and watching their buddies back, not looking for the best place to insert a knife into it. Osmond suddenly found herself disarmed by something that wasn't exactly innocence. They were ODSTs after all. But that pressed the same button in her. Uncomplicated, straightforward, transparent, and loyal. No threat. Well, not to me anyway. "Okay, people. I make it 48 hours to Brunel, so familiarize yourself with the ship," Osmond said. "BB, what was in that data burst?" The AI flashed an image onto the bulkhead display. It was a video transmission showing the pennant code ident of the UNSC Ariadne. Osmond wasn't an engineer, but she could recognize an accelerator shielding bulkhead when she saw one. Ariadne's engineers were sending back images of a technical problem and asking for advice from Earth. There was no way of finding out what had happened until Port Stanley was back in normal space and comms were restored. "Where is she?" Osmond asked. "She had to drop out a slip near Venezia," BB said. The CO made contact with the colony to ask to land non-essential personnel because of safety risk, but they refused. Since when did a human colony get to say no to the UNSC requests for assistance? Even Venezia. Osmond realized Ariadne was only a small patrol ship, but she was still armed. Osmond would have landed shuttles and argued to toss it later. cannoned up if need be. Venezia had gone quiet during the Covenant War, but everyone remembered what it had done during the colonial insurrection. Who the hell's driving that tub? Commander Pascal. The name didn't ring a bell. She started to check her datapad for the UNSCN list, but decided to leave it for later. As soon as we're out of slip, check whether anyone else responded or if they're still in trouble. You're not planning to divert, are you? I know my orders, BB. I just want to know that what Venezia's playing at. Osman had mentally filed most of the hundreds of human colony worlds with one-word labels: glassed, silent, hiding, resentful, struggling, loyal, outlaw. Venezia had dropped off the plot more than 10 years ago, when it was a known safe haven for terrorists. It could have been dusting off old grievances now that it thought the Covenant was gone. Vast stared at the image of the backside of the hazmat-suited engineer squeezing into a small machinery space. He didn't look amused. Can't help hoping the hingeheads pay Venezia another visit, he muttered. But I suppose you can't make that happen, can you, ma'am? Vaz seemed to catch on fast. Good choice, that one. The Psyche Val deadbeats have their uses. Ethics were never simple in Oni, because planetary politics weren't simple either. But Osman could see that lines would get much more blurred before too long. Yes, I can see, she said. Perengoski's words came back to her now. Never settle a score until it's tactically useful, and you're certain you can finish the job. Then make sure they know you did it. That's how you keep them all in line. Osman had all of her mentor's words of wisdom filed mentally too, just like the disposition of colony worlds. She went back to her cabin and splashed her face with cold water to stop the throbbing in her temples. When she straightened up from the basin, she scrutinized herself in the mirror. She still looked drained of blood. That wasn't going to inspire confidence in anyone. She reached into a small cabinet behind the mirror and found a shot of analgesic, but her fingers brushed against something smooth and sharp-edged that crackled. It was a glistening, transparent bag of crystallized ginger scrunched into a pouch and tied with a gold bow. A tiny handwritten tag dangled from it. Osman read it, chuckling to herself. You'll find this works pretty well for nausea. MP. Yes, Perengoski had hidden facets. If you crossed her, she could make sure you ended up very, very dead. But if she liked you, if she trusted you, if she respected you, if she felt you deserved better than the hand that you'd been dealt, then she could be your guardian angel. It didn't happen often. Osman popped a cube of the ginger into her mouth and savored the burn all the way down to the hangar bay. Amdama, sang Helios. Jewel Amdama realized that the old ways weren't working any longer. But he had nothing to take their place. He stood at the Kaiden's door and waited for the old man to acknowledge him. Courtesy cost nothing, after all, and Lavu had always been a sensible leader. Jewel was ready to tear down society, but he drew the line at personal disrespect. You don't look happy, Jewel. Lavu, seated at his huge wooden table, beckoned him into his office. The table had been carved from a single piece of jet wood, legs and top all together, no joints or separate pieces at all, and 1,000 years of constant use had polished it to a satin blackness. What can I do for you? I have to know where you stand on the Arbiter, Jewel said, on the truce with the humans. That's our most immediate problem, whatever my wife says. I haven't opposed him, if that's what you mean, but I don't plan to sanction an assassination either. Well, I have my answer then. A mistaken answer, but an answer nonetheless. Jewel had no idea why he stood there a moment longer. He'd been given his answer and Lavu wasn't going to change his mind. Helplessness overwhelmed him for a moment. A frustration akin to seeing flames licking at a building and being unable to make its occupants heed the calls to run and save themselves. But it was his world that would burn if nobody listened. He was sure of that. Do you think we can make peace with the humans, Kaiden? Lavu put his hand on the table in front of him. It was a gesture of resignation. He'd always been a pragmatist. I think they're devious creatures that can be held in place with the right degree of mutual threat, he said. And I think that we're in no shape to mount the kind of attack that would wipe them out cleanly. But that's not to say I want to make peace with them either. We do what we must. The only items on Lavu's desk were his computer from the San Shayum system that had linked the Sangheli city-states to their prophet masters, and an Arum part puzzle, part ornament. A wood ball of nested concentric spheres carved from a single piece of wood, much as the ancient desk had been. It sat on a carved base. Hidden in its core was a small gem crystal of some kind that could only be shaken free when the player worked out the complex alignment of spheres. The object seemed impossible to anyone except the craftsman who made it. Youngsters learned patience from it. Apart from providing diversion and strengthening character, it was said to represent what made the Sangheli strong and perfectly engineered, orderly system that presented a smooth, impenetrable face to the outside world. And each had his appointed place in it. Jewel suddenly saw it another way. He reached out for it and waited for Lavu to give him a nod to pick it up. Have you ever released the crystal? Lavu asked. Once, then never again. Jewel held the Arum in his right hand, one thumb on the anchor piece, as he pushed his nail into one of the holes to move one of the inner spheres. He put it back in its base. But this is indeed what we are. Good day, Kaiden. Good day, Jewel. Have patience. Jewel bowed his head politely and left. There was no point arguing with Lavu, because there was nothing to argue against. The Kaiden made perfect sense, just as the Arbiter had also made perfect sense when he said the Sangheli had surrendered themselves and their ability to run their own affairs. And the Arum summed up the problem. To reach the core, each sphere had to be operated in turn to activate the next. No sphere could act without the next one in the hierarchy. That was impossible to reorder. It mirrored the Sangheli's social structure, and Jewel wondered if that was the unspoken rule of Arum actually taught children and reinforced in adults, that the keep system had to be obeyed, and that flouting it was impossible. The family keeps all needed the approval of their township keep to act, and the township keeps answered to the city keep in its turn, spheres within spheres. Above that, though, there was nothing now, that the San Shayum had been ousted. A world of 8 billion needed more than a mass of uncoordinated fiefdoms to deal with the humans. And those Geralhane who turned on us, we have many enemies now, as the humans say. The lid has come off. Jewel found himself at the end of the colonnade that connected Lavu's keep to the marketplace, without remembering the walk at all. It was a bad sign, and he still didn't have a plan. Do I dispute Lavu's decision and exercise my right to assassinate him? His grievance wasn't with Lavu, and there was no point acting alone anyway. There's Forza. But he needed more than a friend to back him up. He needed to find an army of like-minded patriots. Honor was all very well for settling clan disputes, but it was pitiful, inadequate for fighting a war. He walked all the way back to Bacan. It took him hours, but he needed the time to think. As he walked along the highway, he saw serfs working in the fields, but still very few Ungoi. Perhaps it was for the best. Sanghelios should never have allowed itself to rely on the alien races, either as masters or servants. He stepped on the aqueduct to gaze out over the valley. In the center of the Rellan clan's farmland, a 50-span area of grass had been left untouched around the remnants of a Forerunner monument. An elegant but crumbling 3-sided spire that had snapped off 5 meters above the soil. It was sacred ground, the handiwork of the gods, and not to be touched. As a child, Jewel had never dared say he thought it was strange that gods should need to build ordinary things, and that many of those things would crumble in time, just like any mortal work. But now he knew he'd been right. Even now that the prophets had been exposed as liars, though nobody had attempted to cross the boundary and plow up the grass. Does it matter? I think not. By the time Jewel got back to his keep, it was long past the mid-afternoon mealtime. Children raced past him, hissing and squabbling. He grabbed one of the boys by his collar and yanked him to a halt. "Discipline, Kamal," he said. He noted that his sons weren't in the unruly mob. "Good. You're not infants, any of you. I expect better." "Sorry, my lord." Kamal slunk away. The sober mood spread through the others in a heartbeat. Jewel climbed the steps of his own keep and went looking for Rhea. He found her in her private chamber, doing the accounts for all of the Bekan clan keeps. A time-consuming job that fell to the wife of the elder. It never improved her mood. "Where have you been?" she demanded. "Forsa called. He wants to talk to you. And you missed the meal. Is this what it's going to be like now that you're back from the front, wandering around, wasting all of your time?" "I went to see Kaiden Mdama. He's going to support the Arbiter." Jewel waited for an acid comment, but none came. Did Forsa say what he wanted? "He said that old man Relon's going to blow up the Holy Spire, seeing as the gods are dead. He didn't think they'd mind him plowing the land and growing tubers." Jewel found it odd to hear her talking so disrespectfully about the Forerunners. She'd always been the devout one in the marriage. Perhaps, like others, she was punishing the gods for letting liars and parasites deceive them and exploit them for so long. "Aren't you offended by that?" he asked. Ray considered the question, eyes fixed on the accounts, folio, all her jaws clenched. "It'll ruin a pretty view," she said, at last. Jewel decided to leave well enough alone and went to find some leftovers in the kitchens. Braving the disapproving snaps and hisses of the older wives who were trying to clean up before the next meal, Ray was right. He was in danger of looking for something to fill his time. Just like every other Sangheili warrior who suddenly had no wars to fight. How do I wake my people? How do I galvanize them? The war isn't over. He grabbed a couple of slices of roast meat on the way out, stopped to take an arum from one of the children in the courtyard, and went off to seek some clarity in a quiet place at the top of the old watchtower. From the battlements he could see right across the valley on a clear day. He lost himself in the arum for a while, utterly absorbed in trying every permutation of movement, until a distant explosion jerked him out of his puzzle. He stood up just a second. Rumbling booms carried on the afternoon air. Leaning on the edge of the stonework to look north, smoke was now rising into the air farther up the valley. When it cleared, Jewel realized that the sacred spire was now gone. Rellan had been good to his word. Jewel suspected it was another expression of the sense of betrayal, blaming the gods for 3 millennia of deceit. Gods, after all, should have been able to step in and bring the Sanshayim to heel. They didn't, so they were either neglectful gods or not worth worshipping, or they didn't exist at all. It was sobering to be alone in the universe. Ray didn't pass comment on it. At supper, Jewel wondered whether to point it out to her, but decided against it. He suspected there would be a rash of this destruction, and then the novelty would wear off and everyone would get on with their lives. After breakfast the next morning, he went to the armory to see what personal resources he had left. It was all small arms. He couldn't seize a ship, not even if it had forces armaments and brothers to be part of the raiding party. He would need to assemble a small army to commandeer a frigate from a crew loyal to the Arbiter. And assassinations, perfectly legal challenges to authority, and orderly and honorable way to resolve disputes required personal weapons. Anything beyond that was dishonorable. It was also designed to stop feuds escalating into civil wars. So how do I find like-minded Sangheili? How do these old laws apply to the situation we now find ourselves in? He was wondering whether to enlist his keep brothers in the plot when the ground beneath him shook a little more. Then he heard 3 muffled whumps, more like artillery fire, then tree clearance. But the Forerunner Spire had already been destroyed. What was Relon doing now? Pulverizing the rubble? There were quieter ways to do that. Annoyed at the thoughtlessness of his neighbor, Jewel stormed outside and activated his comm to call Relon's keep. The channel was dead. The old fool. He'd have to drive over to the keep and ask him to stop this nonsense. Jewel called Gassé to bring the Revenant. Gassé, where are you? Jewel was in the outer courtyard now, wondering why he could hear the familiar sound of a spirit dropship in the distance. Gassé, I need you to pay a visit to Relon. The comm channel was silent for a moment. My lord, Relon's keep is on fire. It's been attacked. For an insane moment, Jewel's first thought was that the gods had finally chosen to make an appearance. The destruction of the spire had enraged them. No, that's superstition to keep you in your place. You know that now. He was about to reply when the sound of the spirit's drives grew a lot louder and the dropship suddenly roared over the keep heading south. By the time Jewel got outside, the spirit had dwindled to a speck in the distance, and a pall of smoke hung in the sky. Relon's keep had probably been burning for some time now, judging by the density and spread. The Revenant whined to a halt at the end of the path, and Gassé beckoned on him from an open cockpit, looking agitated. Ray shouted after them from the open window. What's happening? Is it Gerald Hanai? Humans? How did they get past our defenses? It's Sangheili, my lady, Gassé called back. It's our own. Jewel sprang out into the passenger section. What do you mean our own? The keep's been hit by a plasma cannon. Impossible. Why would you do that? Who would do that? No idea, my lord. Jewel tried to make sense of it as Gassé entered along the line of the highway between the keeps. Other keeps in the area had already responded to the explosion. The Revenant joined a small fleet of vessels and vehicles trying to get close to the burning buildings, and the Kaiden's transports seemed to be everywhere. Nobody could accuse Lavu Mdama of not coming to the aid of his client's keeps. Jewel stared at Gassé, as he brought the Revenant to the halt. The main keep was just a stump of rubble shrouded in smoke now. He knew only too well what a plasma cannon strike looked like. He jumped down from the vehicle and went to walk through the gates, wondering why all of the activity seemed to be in the courtyard and not the keep itself. The fire was crackling and hissing, but he could hear no roars of anger or panic. It was only when he turned the corner, gulping in a lungful of acrid smoke as the heat hit his face, that he understood why there was such silence. He didn't take in the group of warriors, wives, and children clustered in the yard. He saw only that what they were staring at, a scaffold of sorts, had been made from the joists that jutted from the wall, and from it hung tool objects that Jewel took a few moments to recognize. It was Roland and his brother Jalam, both very old warriors and both dead. Beneath their dangling bodies was left of them were pools of splashes and purple blood. They were so mutilated that it was hard even for a shipmaster like Jewel used to combat and the ugly scenes it left in his wake to work out exactly what he was looking at. But he couldn't drag his eyes from the horror. Even though he was desperate to look away, it took some moments to realize Lavu Mdama was standing next to him, staring in silence as well. A handwritten board hung from the cords around Relon's neck made the situation very... The script was stylized and ancient, more like scrolls of the time of the wars with the Sanshayum, but Jewel could read it easily enough. We do not allow blasphemers to leave. The gods demand a return to piety. Truth abides. I thought they were all talk, Lavu said quietly. It seems that they've woken up again. They were everywhere when I was a boy. Who? Jewel couldn't work out why nobody was ushering the family away from the terrible scene. How did they manage to do this to the keep? What are they? The Neru Pe Odissima, Lavu said. It was an ancient name in a form of Sangheili that was no longer spoken. Fanatics. Fools. Just recall the name, the servants of the abiding truth. But they were monks. Well, we let them become warriors. And now they're dangerous, savage fools. And they seem to have stockpiled arms. Kaiden gestured to his aide to do something about the bodies. Thun. Get those bodies down from there. Cover them. It is not decent. Jewel looked away from the slaughter, and that brief lapse at attention let a stray thought cross his mind. He wished it hadn't, because the sane, responsible elder in him said that all was utterly wrong and cowardly and dishonorable. These were just old warriors who'd served Sangheili and the gods all of their lives. But the thought wouldn't go away, and there was no better idea to take its place. If these Nerupe Odosimas would butcher venerable old men for blowing up a... They would shoot for turning all Sangheili from the gods. Abiding truth was an existing network of Jewel that Jewel could draw on. Its followers were clearly willing to break every moral convention on disputes. Jewel had to work out how now to organize and discipline. And he could bypass the Kaiden and anyone else to bring down the Arbiter and unite Sanghelios against the real threat that would inevitably return. He would have to deal with monsters for the greater good. The rules of war were changed. Chapter 4. Why do we bother to force unhappy colony worlds to stay in the unfold? Because UNSC budgets and UNSC heavy lift enabled those colonies to exist. Because the UNSC needs as many supply bases in deep space as it can get. And because they're human, they're us. In the galaxy of hostile aliens, you're either for us or you're the enemy. Admiral Margaret O. Parangoski, Cincinnati, to Captain Saren Osman. Forerunner Dyson Sphere Onyx, 4 hours into reconnaissance patrol, local date, November 2552. The passage ahead of Lucy wasn't the tunnel it first appeared to be. It could have changed shape in the second that she'd looked away, or maybe her helmet optics were on the fritz. But the opening was at least 6 meters high, a black, featureless maw that didn't appear to have interior walls. Why make a door that big? She took a few steps inside, rifle raised, and flickered on the tactical lamp. Her visor flared for a moment, and nothing. The cavern swallowed the light and kicked her armor's reactive coating into mottled black. She glanced down at her boots, now matte black, barely there, and realized she couldn't see the floor underneath them. It triggered a brief primal panic for just a moment, like she was falling. It took her conscious effort to look up and make herself believe that she was on solid ground. She struggled to trust what she could feel rather than what she could see. "Lucy, hang on." It was Tom on the radio. "Lucy, wait, will you?" Two sets of boots thudded behind her. She hadn't realized how far into the opening she'd gone. Her helmet's heads-up display showed that Chief Mendez and Tom were following her, the only two icons at close range. Tom's bio readout showed his pulse was now raised. She decided to risk taking her eyes off the passage and turned around. "What have we got, Lucy?" Tom caught up with her and put his hand on her shoulder. "Are you okay?" Why did he think she wouldn't be? She waved him away. Something had come down this passage and she couldn't turn back until she'd found and identified it. If necessary, neutralized it. She checked her display for EM and thermal signatures. But there was nothing. The ground was definitely flat and smooth, like terrazzo. Now, she started to trust her proprioception rather than her eyes. She picked up speed and started walking at the pace she thought of as cautious as normal. "I'm going to fetch Halsey in here to evaluate this," Mendez said, and Lucy kept moving. "Hold it here, Lucy. We'll secure a perimeter in case whatever it is decides to come back. You hear me, Petty Officer? Hold it here." Lucy halted. She couldn't shake the feeling that if she didn't hunt down whatever it had fled, it would come back for them all. Get it before it gets us. She stood staring into the black void, wondering what kind of material could absorb light so completely. The trouble with staring at the featureless surface was that it soon stopped being featureless. She could now see pinprick flashes of light and brightly colored, moving shapes, like mingling currents of dye. It was just her optic nerve trying to make sense of the absence of light, but she couldn't stop her brain from pouncing on the phantoms and trying to reshape them. Suddenly, it was a twisting path with a tantalizing hint of lights ahead and movement and people. Then the colored lights became an afterimage of a white-hot explosion. Lucy had been here before. Part of her knew it wasn't happening, but it couldn't stop the animal core of her reacting to it. She was in a maze of pipes in a Covenant refinery, and she could even see the coolant leaking and bubbling on the floor ahead of her. Tom was to her right. There were the last two Spartans left alive from Beta Company, and now they were going to die as well. She was 12 years old, scared, running on autopilot, trying to gulp in a breath that never reached her lungs because the pounding pulse in her throat was choking her. Then hands grabbed her shoulders and spun her around. She raised a fist with no idea why. No thought involved. Only the crack of a visor against her own faceplate stopped her. She could still see the coolant pipes in her peripheral vision, fading and drifting. And then they were gone. "Come on, Luce, get a grip." Tom still had a hold of her shoulders. He knocked his helmet against hers a couple more times. "It's okay." It felt like long minutes, and Lucy was certain she'd moved a few meters, but it was seconds, and she was still rooted to the same spot, just facing in the opposite direction. Her bio readouts must have spiked and scared the hell out of everyone. "It's okay, I get it too." Tom stepped back as if he was satisfied she wasn't going to lose it. "Just take it easy and breathe. It's not real. Any of it." There were times when Lucy wished she could answer him, but there were no words left inside of her now. After 7 silent years, she didn't talk and she didn't scribble notes. Her head was full of things that nobody else would understand or want to hear. At first, she had nothing to say in the hours she'd escaped from the sabotage refinery with Tom, and then she had things she'd wanted to say that were too painful. The heavy silence settled like silt in her chest, a little more each day, and each time she tried to work up to talking, it was harder and harder to find the words that conveyed the images in her head. And then even her inner voice faded completely away. She couldn't imagine speaking now. She didn't know where to start. It was just as well that Tom worked out what was going on in her head. "Hey, Lucy." She was suddenly aware of Olivia striding toward her with Mark and Ash at her heels. They'd have seen her biosign spiking too. Couldn't find the light switch. Ash tapped his knuckles against her armor, and Olivia gave her a rough hug. When Lucy looked past her, Halsey was framed in the dim scatter of lights at the far end of the passage. For a moment, she looked like she was standing in front of a decorated Christmas tree. It was a sharp little echo of buried memories, and then it was gone. Environmental controls, Halsey called. Her voice didn't echo. Lucy couldn't hear her even with her helmet on. Come here, look. Lucy hung back as the others headed for the entrance and stood a meter inside the passage, just in case whatever it was she'd heard decided to return. It's got to get past me, and it won't. Hall was running, one hand over an illuminated Forerunner symbol on the wall. After a few moments of frowning at the lights as if they were being willfully stubborn, she held out the cylinder to Kelly. Here, hang on to this for me. She took out her datapad and unfolded it like a piece of origami into a laptop format. That didn't appear to satisfy her as she folded it up again into a datapad. Then she carried on, running her hand along the symbols. Okay, perhaps it's not environmental. I found another symbol for humidity. This might be controlling storage conditions, so one of these could activate lights or orient us. How do you know that? Mendez asked, all suspicion. Halsey flipped the screen and held it towards the wall. I just do. Let's see what my database makes of this. And you wouldn't dream of keeping anything else from us. Chief, I won't lecture you on the wisdom of stones and glass houses, so just keep that. I don't know how I know yet. I'm not hiding anything. Lucy expected a scientist like Halsey to be more disturbed about random hunches. She backed away into the passage and set her helmet to record, just in case she picked up something. Luce? Tom's voice in her helmet was quiet warning. She gave him an I'm okay gesture, diver style, and carried on. He stood still. See her bio readout, so that would keep him happy until she came back. Normal pulse and respiration, see? I'm fine. I can handle this. I'm not crazy. Just low blood sugar, fatigue. I ought to eat something. Luce, wait up, I'm coming, damn it. You know better than that. She moved across the wall and held her rifle one-handed, skimming her left hand across the surface to orient herself. And suddenly she felt much better. The ground beneath her boots was smooth and level. Even if she couldn't see it, she had a better idea of where she was. I have to find where this leads. Something is in here. Something's waiting for us. And so might the elites. And Lucy had a lifetime of scores to settle. She didn't think there was anything wrong with her judgment at all. When she stopped and looked over her shoulder, the faint light from the entrance had gone. She turned back almost giddy, because there was nothing to orient her but the squad's bio signs, all visible to her in her HUD. So she hadn't lost comm signal, and she wasn't alone. 104 to Bravo 091. It was Fred on the radio now. Lucy, where the hell are you? He should have known he wouldn't get an answer. But if she could see his bio readout, he could see hers. He'd know she was fine. If the others wanted to faff around and look for the light switch, fine, but someone had to secure this passage. She was about to flash back a status signal when she collided with something that bounced her back a couple of steps. Damn, she had walked into a wall. That was what came of not concentrating on the task at hand. What is it, Lucy? Her heart rate must have blipped. She transmitted status okay, then put her hand out ahead of her to feel her way around the obstruction. When her fingers touched it, it felt exactly like the side wall she'd been using for orientation. But then it yielded at her hand, went through something soft. It was almost as if she'd put her hand in a closet and found a pile of towels, except her whole body passed through it. The wall brushed past her, It was the only way she could describe it. As the wall engulfed her, the squad bio readouts in her HUD winked out. She tried to turn back, but it was too late. Sudden pressure popped her ears. The ground dissolved underneath her, and she fell, pitching forward. Her helmet bounced away. It cracked loudly. Again, something, but she couldn't see where it had rolled. And then the lights came on. She couldn't yell warning. She couldn't transmit a status report. But she still had her rifle, and now she could see where to aim. Hangar deck, UNSC, Port Stanley, approximately 10 hours from New Lanelli. History's not my subject. Vaz bent over a crate of Covenant rifles and wondered whether Oni had paid for them or looted them. The hangar deck was a warehouse of crates stacked either side of a small dropship that looked like a civilian patrol vessel, although its matte gray stealth coating said otherwise. But I recall that thing like this often and very badly. Naomi loomed over him. So you do speak. That was rich coming from her. She hadn't said more than a few words since the meeting with Parangoski. Vaz had already chalked that up as Spartans believing too much of their own PR, because everybody knew that they were winning the war single-handedly. It was official. The UNSC media people had decided it was great for morale to tell the civvies all about the Spartans and what superhuman jobs they were doing of saving Earth. That didn't go down well with the ODSTs. Vaz suspected it didn't go down well with all the other average, unglamorous grunts who were doing their fighting and dying as well behind the scenes. Yes, I talk, Vaz said at last, if I have something to say. He couldn't read her expression at all. Even Mal had tried to flirt with her, and that was a first. Oh, even Mal hadn't tried to flirt with her, and that was a first. Naomi was just odd. Vaz had expected Spartans to be like a heroic PR image presented to the media, fearless and godlike, gazing nobly into the distance, with one boot on a pile of dead hinge heads. They weren't supposed to be awkward. Her look didn't set him at ease either. It wasn't so much the sharp features as her pale, translucent skin and platinum hair. They reminded him of nightmarish folk, tales that his grandmother had told him as a kid, where female demons who looked like ice princesses dined on the giblets of unwary children. That wasn't much happily ever after in Russian fairy tales. Come on, I'm ODST. I'm a big boy now. This is insane. Stop it. Naomi tucked a strand of her hair behind her ear. You have to know how much gas to pour on a fire, she said, not even looking at him. It sounded like a bit zen, but they were up to their elbows in a crate of identity-tagged Sangheili rifles, so he decided they were back on the topic of wisdom of arming hingeheads. How come they're short of arms, he asked. I don't recall that being a problem when they were blowing our heads off. The Covenant Civil War, the Great Schism, it cost them a lot of ships and equipment. And once they drove out the profits, they lost their supply chain and their command and control. Naomi was suddenly transformed into something like a regular woman. This was obviously her pet subject. Her packed ice eyes lit up. So most of the rank and file don't have access to serious hardware now, and they're too disorganized to use it effectively anyway. So are they still fighting the brutes? Some. As far as we know, she seemed to be working up a sweat, puffing a bit as she heavied the crates around, without the power-assisted armor that she had to rely on, just her raw muscles, just like him. But he still didn't think he'd beat her at arm wrestling. She was genetically enhanced, and it showed. That'll spread them thinner than the butter on a Navy sandwich. As soon as she said that, as soon as she even brushed close to griping, Vaz felt her change from the terrifying Baba Yaga into one of his own. Everyone in uniform griped about everything all of the time. It was one of those fundamental things that bonded ships and armies. When the griping stopped, officers worried. Vaz relaxed just a little bit. That's one feud we won't need to stir up. All the weapons were invisibly tagged to make them trackable. The transponder material worked into the metal itself. Vaz examined one of the energy swords to see if he could detect it on a casual inspection. Will the hinge heads fall for the tracking? They've lost their prophets and engineers, so they're not so technical now. But even if they spot it, I doubt they'll care. They'll think that they can pick us off later. Naomi suddenly jerked her head up, frowning. Vaz strained to listen and caught the sound of two elites chattering on the radio. It had to be a recording of voice traffic intercepted before they entered slipspace, but it still had the power to make his flesh crawl. He wasn't going to shake it that easily. Nobody who'd fought those things at close quarters ever would. He followed the sound, squeezing between the stow-drop pods, and ended up outside a small fire control compartment aft of the drop ship. The hatch was open. When he stuck his head inside, he found Phillips with his boots up on a console. Fingers meshed behind his head and his eyes shut. His datapad sat on his lap. Its screen was flickering with rapidly scrolling lines of text. Vaz waited for him to notice someone was there. It took a full minute. Phillips just opened his eyes and didn't even look. Startled. Dialect variation, he said. Good stuff. This Oni eavesdropping kit. Vaz had never actually heard elites just talking before. He'd only heard them roaring, what he assumed were terms of abuse, as they came at him, or gurgling out in their last curses and pleas as he finished them off the hard way. It was strange to imagine them having a chat. You understand all of that? Phillips tapped his jaw with his index fingers. I understand it, and I can read it, but I don't have enough jaws to speak it like a native. There's a whole tonal layer that I can't reproduce. He cocked his head at the sound. There were two distinct voices, then a third cut in. The rumbling tones didn't mean a thing to Vaz, but he's suddenly aware of a lot of clicks and gulps within the words. He still didn't know what to make of Phillips. They'd met less than 2 days ago, and now they had to trust each other with their lives. Phillips was about Mal's age, with reddish-brown, scrubby hair and a matching beard. He looked a little fitter than the average civvy, in a set of unbadged UNSC fatigues. Vaz suspected he'd probably wanted a bit of adventure in his life, but didn't have the balls to enlist. He wondered how Phillips was going to shape up when an elite took a pot shot at him. Do you like them? Vaz asked. I've had direct contact with them. They're fascinating. Vaz had a pretty direct contact with them too, and fascination wasn't the word that sprang to his mind. But you don't mind shafting them like this? Because that's what we're doing. Come on, it's not as if I'm falsifying research. Phillips made that sound like the worst possible thing a man could do. I'd rather stay alive than die, academically pure. Look, I know the Sangheili. They despise us. They're no forgive and forget. Not after nearly 30 years of killing each other. The only reason they split from the Covenant and allied with us was because the prophets were trying to exterminate them. Hardly the basis for a lasting marriage, is it? We're not good at forgetting either, Vaz said. Glad to know you haven't grown fond of them. The conversation ended abruptly when BB appeared and hovered in the gap next to Vaz. Oni might have taken AIs for granted, but Vaz didn't, and judging by the way he jumped, neither did Phillips. Come along, gentlemen, BB said. Chop, chop, places to go, mayhem to cause. He rotated and headed for the ladder. Not that he even needed to. Final briefing at 1800, captain on deck. Phillips swung his feet off of the console and stood up as BB vanished through the bulkhead. Port Stanley was so crammed with AI systems and hollow projectors that the AI could cover almost every centimeter of the ship. Vaz decided BB was jerking a few chains of his own for amusement. This is why I didn't do theology, Phillips whispered, as if he thought BB wouldn't hear him. He isn't actually in any one place, is he? Omnipresent. That really messes with my mind. It was a frank admission for a smart guy. He spread throughout the whole ship, Vaz said. He's in every system right now. He is the ship. That occurred to me when I was taking a leak. It's not a happy thought. Phillips didn't seem used to the indignities of communal living, like service personnel. Vaz stifled a smile. Don't you have AIs at the university? Not like that. They're either dumb or they're terminally restricted, and they're not that human. I think that's why UNSC ones have avatars, so we don't get too paranoid. I don't think the AIs actually need them. But he's not where his avatar is. That's what I'm struggling with. No. Vaz had learned the art of not fretting about unsettling things that he couldn't control. He just worked on the basis that BB, like the core, saw every move and heard every cough and spit he made. Assume the worst. It makes life simpler. He could hear Osmond's boots on the gantry as he picked his way between the crates around the drop ship. Devereaux looked busy in the cockpit, head down and shoulders moving, as if she was running her hands across the instrument panel. When he stepped up into the crew bay, it was instantly clear that it wasn't a regular security vessel. The Oni engineers had gutted it. Now every centimeter of the bulkhead was lined with surveillance equipment and screens. Mal was stacking small crates. Luxury, eh? He said. Can't remember the last time I landed on a planet without smashing into the ground. Devereaux's voice came over the bulkhead speaker. Can't recall the last time I did either. Okay, that's it. I'm changing my airline. Both of them roared with laughter. Devereaux squeezed through the hatch into the crew bay and gave Vaz a friendly thump in the chest with her fist. You don't know we haven't got a plan, don't you? You know we haven't got a plan, don't you? We never do. Vaz checked over his shoulder to see where Phillips was. He'd vanished. They just dropped us into the sewer, and we work our way out as we clear it. Have you been charming or Spartan? Just talking. Keep at it, Vaz, Mal said, winking. Older birds are more grateful. Did she say why she keeps giving Osmond the hairy eyeball? No, I didn't ask. Trust me, there's definitely something going on there. Vaz put his finger on his lips. They really weren't used to having full sentient AIs around. Then it occurred to him that he was standing in a snake's wedding of cables and surveillance feeds accessible to BV, so even a shut-it gesture wasn't private. Devereaux gave Vaz a very discreet wink. She nudged Mal with the elbow to get him moving kit again. Come on, Mal. Put your back into it. She stuck her head out of the crew bay. Phillips, you two, come on, shift this. Vaz didn't have to wait long for proof that BB saw all and heard all. Osmond appeared at the bay door with Phillips at her heels. He looked as if she'd smacked him for being a bad boy. How's it going, she asked. Mal straightened up. Fine, ma'am. What's the plan? I do have one. Mal didn't even blink. Permission to feel reassured. Granted, the Sangheili effectively have no top-level command and control left. So the best we can do is hand them the weapons and see where the fault lines form. She didn't seem irritated. Whatever BB had relayed to her, if anything, she seemed a little apologetic. We're at the mercy of very patchy short-range comms, so there's a lot of surveillance to carry out. We can do patient, too, ma'am, Mal said. Naomi appeared in the door and stood with one boot on a step half turned toward them. We don't just jump out of orbit and shoot bad guys? Don't worry, staff. You'll see some action. Osmond paused a beat as if she was working up something, then glanced at Naomi. And you might as well know this now, she said, carefully matter of fact. I was in the Spartan 2 program until I was 14. Naomi and I knew one another. But I'm not a Spartan now. Everybody okay with that? We're going to be living with each other. and out of each other's pockets for quite some time, so I don't want there to be any more secrets than are operationally necessary. That was an unnatural thing for an Oni officer to say. Secrets were meat and drinks to them. But it wasn't half as unnatural as a word 14. Osmond just stood there, as if she was inviting comments. Vaz assumed it was calculated because Oni officers were never lost for words or patted down every syllable for incriminating evidence before it was swallowed, or before it was allowed to leave their mouths. Mal filled the gap. You said 14, ma'am? 18's the minimal age for enlistment. Correct. We started the program at age 6. Osmond gave Naomi a slow look and turned back to Vaz. They couldn't complete the full augmentations until we were 14. Mal went quiet, probably doing the same calculations and gap-filling that Vaz was right then. But Phillips just dived in, unafraid of the braid, as only a civvy could be. This was a military academy, I assume, he said. Not exactly. Osmond seemed to be on the gut spill. Vaz couldn't imagine any Oni officer doing this without calculated reason. Boot camp, live rounds. She looked as if she was going to say more, but stopped dead. Vaz caught Naomi looking at Osmond. Her thin-lipped expression said one thing: traitor. Vaz didn't know why the captain had decided to share this with them, and he definitely didn't know why it had pissed off Naomi so much. But Spartans obviously disapproved of talking outside of the tent. Naomi just stood there, grim and silent. Osmond scratched the nape of her neck, as if her neural interface was bothering her, then glanced at her watch. Well, that's obviously broken more ice than I expected. Okay, BB, prepare to drop out in 2 hours and carry a full comm sweep of the sector. She jumped down from the crew bay and walked away. Naomi peeled off in the opposite direction. Nobody spoke until the click of Osmond's boots changed to a metallic clang as she climbed the ladder and up the gantry. Wonder why she didn't share that little gem with us, Mal said, and why she did. Phillips looked from face to face as if the ODSTs knew more than he did. He really didn't understand the military yet. Was she serious? That means they started the Spartan program before the Covenant War. Correct, said a disembodied voice. BB took a couple of seconds to appear, and Vaz noted that nobody flinched this time. It's a long and complex story, a rather messy one. Thanks for not engaging our interest, BB, Devereaux said, sliding back through the cockpit's hatch. We're not remotely curious, really. Mal wasn't amused at all, though. Vaz saw his jaw muscles working. BB, are you going to trot off to her with every bloody thing we say? You were concerned about the obvious tension, BB said calmly. I thought it was worth getting the captain to address it, seeing as we're living en familia, so to speak. There was no answer to that. BB turned to Vaz for a cube that wasn't really there and didn't actually need to turn to look at anything. His ability to convey which way he was looking fascinated Vaz. He seemed to have a faint dappling of light on one face of his cube. And you're right, Vasily, BB said. An avatar is for the benefit of humans, not for the AI. Well, in my case anyway, some of my kind have issues about identity. The question escaped before Vaz even thought about it. So why not look human? That, BB said, drifting away through the door, would just be too needy. I'm calling it before the drop. We're on page... What page are we on? We're on page 111. So, we're a little short of where we finished last week, but that's okay. I'm not mad. We'll finish this chapter. The chapter's got like 6 pages left. But it's at a good stopping point because it's a new... The book changes perspectives regularly, and what I mean by that is it like It just has these random places where it'll have an emboldened like new spot, and then you jump to a completely different spot. It's similar to my complaints with the First Strike book. I want to say it was First Strike, where it just was written where it had all of these like little bullets in it, and every time the bullet would appear, it would be a completely different perspective. So you were like jumping from person to person to person with no like, any like any rhyme or reason or connection, I guess I would say. But yeah, yes, Tom, we are gonna play here in a second. I've got my controller, but I'm going to reboot my coffee and use the restroom. But before I do that, I want to read through what we got here. We got hello, hello, hello. Of course, they're around the same age, sharing a Spartan washout. I'm over on YouTube today. Phone has zero service, so having to run this BG. Oh, okay. How's YouTube treating you today, Nikki? Hey, Tom, I see you there chatting. And we're gonna play. Don't forget to check in on our music. Our music today is provided by Installation 00, and that is the OST is right here. Kapow kachow. We're currently listening to Ambient Wonders. 1,810 approximately subscribers to the channel. Ambient Wonders is science fiction music. Chat is kind of dead. Yeah, it's a reading day, so it's kind of like that. We were pretty quiet yesterday as well. It was a quiet day for a Wednesday. This is our most popular day, so the fact that we are only seeing 2 or 3 people on each platform watching today is interesting, but it's no big deal. Don't worry, we're gonna switch gears. It's gonna be great. And we're gonna have a blast. I'm gonna jump in the Discord. We got all sorts of fun shit going on today. Again, check out Ambient Wonders. It's great for studying, sleeping, napping. I have RGB lights in my house. I can change them to like a actual like setting where they like have scenes in the house where the lights will be different color. I like to set it up. Won't even get 3G in the building. Wow, that sucks. Anyway, I like to set them up in scenes. So, like, I like to set them up like Night City, from Cyberpunk, like the lights at night. I really love it. And, anyway, you can listen to Ambient Wonders while you're doing all of those things. And it's great. Go check it out. It's on YouTube. It's powered by Installation 00. You give me just a second. I'm going to go reboot my coffee and use the restroom. We're going to come back and hang out and play some games together, and I'll be in the Discord, too. Thanks for being awesome with me today. And thanks for listening. Rougher day reading today. Rougher day. Anyway, I'll be right back. Watch the chair. Couldn't turn until I unhooked my stuff. I'll be right back. Oh, legs. Alright. Hey guys, welcome back. I don't know how Discord works. Oh. That's interesting. I'm going to take this jacket off early because I already know, since reading is done and we're going to probably start playing some games here in a minute, that the sweats will begin. And I don't want to be wearing a jacket and a heavy-duty flannel. That's not how it works. Okay. Hi. Let's go. Game scene. Pow, chicka bow wow. Chicka 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 bow wow. And bonk. We're live in the Discord now. Here in the awesome. For a little bit. Looks like we've got we got a Tom. Hey Tom, welcome. Welcome, buddy. There's nothing new. We're still stuck on the old stuff. Bummer. Hey Tom, you down for some Arena Slayer? Digging the flannel today too. You look like a nerdy lumberjack. Thanks. Well, I started the morning with my Mariners hat, which matches my flannel. Different, of course. It's all the different baseball hats. I get a bunch of them that I'm gonna wear throughout the season. It's so many, and I love the flannels. It's flannel season. I tell everybody we're coming into baseball season now, and in the baseball season, you need to have a versatile shirt that can be warm for you, or be warm for you, or be able to like unbutton and roll up some so that you could be less warm. So yeah, it's kind of like that, I would say. I love it. It's a good flannel. My wife bought this one for me, by the way. Did you hear me? I don't know how Discord works. Do I hear you in the channel? I don't know. Let me see. Like in game chat? Probably not. It's okay, though. It's okay. We'll be alright. We'll play some Delta, Tom. It's okay. I found did I tell you guys? I'm pretty sure I told you guys. I found a spot in I had a program running that was part of the motherboard software that came with my PC build, and I uninstalled that additional piece of software, and it seems to have solved my cloud gaming issue. And we'll see. We'll see if it did. It's good news. That means things like hockey, golf, other cloud baseball, other sports games can come and be part of the stream soon. And I like that, because that's more things that Spartan John does that I try to share with you guys.
Slayer.
Here we go. Here we go. Going left. One down. One here. Oh, stuck! Shit! Great throw, dude. The guy got that guy. That was a good stick. Guy definitely got me. Damn, 2 on my X in the basement. Nice sword kill. Damn, one of my X weak. One of my X weak. He's in the basement, blue base. I can't believe I threw the grenade at him and it looked like he caught it and threw it back at me. All over here, all over here. Oh, shit! Hey, thanks for the follow, Lo-Fi. How you doing today? Welcome to the awesome. No eyes. That's stupid of me. Dude watched me hose his buddy. Take the double before I pass on. That's nice. The double. Oof, missed him. Oh, he's dead. Gotcha. Damn, 2 on my X. I got pinched.
Victory! Spectacular!
Hey, Kevin.
Hey?
Welcome to the live. Did your power come back?
Nope.
No!
It's now 4 hours. I guess a tree fell down and took out a whole bunch of power lines.
Oh, shit. Wow, that sucks.
Yep. So we're just waiting and waiting. And our snow is still blowing and fluttering in, so we're in like a little blizzard.
You're getting snow? That's not fair. We're getting not any snow here. No snow. Not even a little bit. Not
We've
even
had wind and snow, so
wind and snow. Nice. Okay. Well, I mean, that's rough, but wow. Okay.
so I'm just on my phone, just wasting time sorting Halo collectible cards and talking to you.
We're glad to have you.
Are you playing right now, or?
Yeah, we're just dumping into a Delta Arena. We just
Of
we just
course.
finished our first Delta Arena match of the day. You know, it's a nice easy way to warm up and experience the goodness in an authentically wonderful and sweaty way right out of the gate. And
Yeah.
we miss you. We do miss you. We got
I wish I
Tom
could
with
join.
us today. Yeah, we got Tom with us today. He's cool. We play with him sometimes. He's the deaf guy. Wears the
Cool.
hearing aids. He's super cool. I don't know if he's got his aids in today. He's been chatting a little bit. He's been in the Discord before. He's super cool. Veg Thomas. He's
Awesome.
Cool dude. Yeah.
At least you got someone with you.
Yeah, not alone. It's too bad we don't have you today, Kevin. We're gonna miss you. We miss you, man. We miss you.
Yeah, I couldn't even go the place I usually go to for do my donations. Couldn't even go to today.
System kicked me out. Interesting. Oh, really? You couldn't donate today?
No, the businesses are closed and everything.
Wow, that's wow.
It's dumping on us, really.
Did we go to? How did we switch to neutral bomb? I thought it was in Arena Slayer. Apparently, I accidentally went into assault. So, this is gonna be terrible, or it could be really good. Going the wrong way. Got to take the bomb over there.
I will tell you this: the amount of these the Halo cards. There's so many of them.
Oh, really?
Oh, all the versions and stuff. I think that it's a base set of 180, and then if you take in all the extras and all the versions of them, I think it jumps up to about 900.
Oh my God! What? That's cool. How did? Okay. My 900 cards in the set. Are you sure?
Yep.
To get to complete, that's a huge set for first edition.
And I mean, I'm talking about autograph cards, sketch cards. You know, one or two specially cards per box type of deal. So it basically nearly impossible to get a whole entire set.
Wow.
You would need to drop thousands and thousands of dollars to get a full and complete entire set. But that makes it fun, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's literally like just the base card set. There's like 3 different versions, and like the rarest color is like 1/10 of what you'd get in compared to the normal one.
Oh! God damn it! You what? Oh, you're not watching. Yeah, no, that's cool. That is really cool. I can't, but like I said, that's a lot of cards for a set. I would not have expected that to be a set straight away. Oh, thanks, buddy.
Yeah, because they have like you have your basic cards.
Yeah.
And then you have like a color version of the basic card.
Yeah.
And then a second color version of the basic card.
Oh wow. Okay.
And so for every 20 basic cards you get, there's one of the second color, and for every 10 of those you get, there's one of the rare color.
Okay, gotcha.
And it's crazy like that.
Okay. And then you get the autographed ones, of course, right?
And then the autograph ones, and stuff like that. The redemption cards. I got 2 Cortana redemption cards. Very interesting.
Wow, okay. What does that mean? Redemption, like you can send them in and they give you something in exchange?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a card that you has a special code on it, printed on it.
Okay.
And you go to the website and you type it in, and then they send you a specialty card. So you kind of get the special, you get the redemption card, and then you get the card that they send you.
Right.
Which I'm not sure what it is they actually send you. It might not actually be a card. It might be like something other than a card, because why wouldn't they just put the card in where the redemption card is?
Mm-hmm.
But there's 70 different artists for this.
Yeah.
There's I don't know how many celebrity autographs, but there's a ton. I mean, you name it, and they probably had the actor sign some. I've seen Nathan Fillion's. I've seen I got Governor Sloan's autograph.
Yeah.
Wow,
that's cool.
I've seen some of the scientists that were in the games that just had very small parts. I've seen their voice actor cards. Seen Atriox. There's a lot to collect.
Right.
People are going crazy on them too. Different trading groups and stuff. People are just posting away on them.
Nothing wrong with extra protection.
Right. Nice. Get the bomb. Let's go. We need to plant the bomb in their base, you guys. This is not Slayer. Don't be stupid. Damn, where'd the team... Seriously, the teammates, they're not... You gotta plant the bomb, dummies. Come on. You guys just want to lose? This is not Slayer. If it was Slayer, you guys still sucking. Come on. Do this shit all by myself.
You know, I think the problem is that slaying is basically the only way you get any real points.
Yeah. But we're playing,
so if you just want to, you know, increase your rank, you slay.
Pinched. Pinched. All here. Thanks, Tom. Thanks for being with me. Our other two teammates literally are just out to fucking lunch, apparently. They don't... I don't know if they grasp the way that you play this mode or what.
Shield available. Bomb taken. Bomb.
Come on, boys. Let's go.
Nice shot.
Plant the bomb. Plant the bomb.
Bomb taken. Bomb taken.
Nice job, Tom. Take the bomb. Good job, boss. Take it. I'm here with you, boss. I'm running through mid-bottoms. Yeah. Go. I'm here. They're gonna try to meet you at the, Plant that bomb. Plant it. Bomb armed, yeah, have some of that, you dumb bastards. Hey, we might win this match, maybe. We're starting to play, more better now.
Get the objective.
Get the objective. Right.
Ready. Bomb taken.
Tango's closing in.
Never shield inbound. Bomb taken. Never shield available.
Keep your head down.
Oh, sniper, shit! I'm down.
Bomb taken.
Another one down.
Bomb taken.
Enemy.
Nice.
At least I'm a little lucky. Not
Yeah.
having power, I still have gas, so we still have we can
Nice.
still cook and we can still have warm water.
Bomb
Nice.
dropped.
That is good.
Bomb taken. Bomb taken.
Ooh, overshield down here. Overshield is broken. And we got a minute and 14 left. We could go in overtime here. You're clear. Go to the bomb plant spot. I'll meet you there.
Enemy field's down. 1 minute remaining.
Plant it.
Bomb army. Bomb dropped.
Oh, what? That's
Bomb
bull.
taken. Powerful stuff coming from who knows where. Carrier kill. Power items on the field. Go get them.
Yes, that's good.
30 seconds
Go.
remaining.
Onto their shield.
Bomb army. Bomb dropped.
Fuck.
Bomb
Even with that shield, I couldn't finish it.
seconds.
Come Oh, boys, get that bomb planted.
Bomb reset.
Bomb reset, Roger.
Objective incoming.
Go, take it, take it, take it.
Objective ready. Bomb taken.
Nice shot. Enemy shields down.
Bomb dropped. Bomb taken.
Go ahead, take it, take it. Come on, get the bomb. Oh, they've got the bomb. One here.
Shields are down.
Bomb arming. Tie. Carrier kill.
Carrier killed. Well, we tied. We tied, Kevin. We tied. I was,
Yeah, how many points do you get for the actual achievement or the for the winning the objective or tying the objective?
So that match, I got 3,525 points for that match. I did. I had 31 kills, 7 assists.
You said 31 kills,
31 kills. That's right.
so that's 3,100.
Yeah. In Husky Raid, I averaged that score. For unless the Husky Raids are like kicking off really fast, we usually average that, a pretty high amount of points. And in this case, I said that was that. That match was silly because I don't think that the people who were in the match with me, with the exception of Tom, like knew what was going on at all. Like, I don't think that they knew well, there was a guy that obviously knew the objective because he was the second highest slayer, and I think he's actually the guy that planted the bomb for us, but it was weird. Like, I'm sure you guys were all watching me. Basically, I felt like Tom was sort of following me around and helping me out, but I felt like I was pushing the objective alone for most of that match. It's okay. I'm not worried about it. I'm just, it is. We're going back to Delta now, Tom, so that we can, shoot people instead of, objectives, because, we're better at shooting people than we are at objectives. Oh, standing up. I'm standing up, 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 up. Oh shit, Kevin. You just staring out the window and enjoying the view, or?
No, I'm sorting my Halo cards.
In front of a window, enjoying the view, the snow view?
Yeah, basically there's lights coming in the room.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, his snow, I'll trade you. You can send your snow, just blow your snow up here a couple of miles this direction. Like 100 of them.
Slayer.
I believe it's only 100 miles to Vancouver.
Yeah, as bird flies, yeah, probably. Maybe a little bit more, but
Just blow that snow right up here, dump it on me. I will be happy to accept it.
puppy's loving it.
Yeah, oh yeah, my Malamutes would love it. My Malamutes, they're snow people. Don't you know I'm still standing Better than I ever did.
Old school simplicity.
Smoking
More
like
kills, more
Spoken
better.
like a true survivor. Feeling like a little kid.
Overshield acquired.
I'm at Banshee platform. There should be a. They should have a Banshee over here for reals. I'm heading to small snipe tower. What's up, ribs? Small sniper, no eyes. One here, one here. Buddy, you can't do that to me. That was a bad choice. They're a, oh shit, all here! Oh fuck, 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 two here, two here! One more, there you go. There's a sniper on the ground here somewhere. There it is. Oh, it won't let me pick it? What a bunch of bullshit, huh? Big snipe tower. One here on me, one on my X here. Needles, needles, small tower behind you, behind you. Two on me now, two on small tower.
Spartan down.
Boom Legion.
$15 to Ovi. I'm here with you.
Power item incoming.
Teammates on Ovi shield. One on top of satellite pylon? Yes. You shouldn't have pushed me, dumbass. Oh, sniper, small tower sniper. One's pushing you, Tom.
Power weapons on ground.
Another one down. Closing in.
Power weapons are here.
No eyes pushing to sniper.
Hey, nice shot.
Oof. One of my X weak. Bulldog, bulldog, bulldog. 20 to Ovi, 20 to
Enemy
rocks.
halfway to victory.
Sniper is up.
Power
20
items
rocks.
away, Spartan.
There you go. Take it.
Got
Use it.
power items in play.
Go. Use it. Use it. Use the thing. You got it. Use it. You use it. There you go. Use it. Use the thing. Thank you. Stop shooting me. Up here. Up here. Up here.
Enemy Spartans closing in. Stay mobile.
Oh fuck. Oh shit. I missed a jump. Don't follow me. Whoopsies.
It's like a
Back
45
up,
that
back
shoots
up.
hot
You
nails.
got Tom died. Just one on Tom. Sniper on Tom.
Not much left of them.
Down there. My shield's popped.
Dude literally jumped to his goddamn death right there. Tasty. "30-ish seconds to sniper." I meant bulldog.
Powerful stuff coming from over there.
Assassinated that dumb bitch. Shit was so good.
On the field. Go get him.
One dead.
Free.
There's 2 dead. There's 3 dead. You guys want to send another one? Somebody want to clip that for me? That was too good. I'm gonna go get this other sniper. I'm gonna go get rockets before they have a chance. Rockets I have. Oh, and sniper? More sniper ammo? No way. Well, bye. Bye-bye. Somebody clip that, too. That was pretty funny. I almost feel... I don't even... You know what? I don't even feel bad. That guy deserved it. Look at... Oh, missed him? That's okay.
Spartan down.
Says they're dead. You're a
Oh,
friggin'
buddy.
Malacca.
Buddy. What are you doing? What you doing, buddy? What are you doing? One here.
Aim small, miss small. Power items incoming.
Shields are down.
Oh. Golly.
Nice shot. Power items available.
Banshee Tower. Banshee Tower? Got 3 bullets left.
Power weapons are on the way.
Oh, one of my ex. Bummer. Wow, that was a pretty intense match. I can't believe we lost. I probably could have pushed harder, but I had 3 more rounds and 2 more rockets. It's not your fault, Tom. It was a good match. You did all right, buddy. The system kicked you out. Yeah. It's okay, man. It was all right. It's all right. We got, oh, okay. Hour and 15 minutes left in the awesome. I need to reboot my coffee, I think. Just a little bit here in the bottom. Here we go. We'll play another one, then I'll go reboot the coffee. All right. Me drink whiskey plus Pepsi. That's awesome. That's good. It's good stuff, Tom. It's good stuff. We lost to Kevin. I'm sorry we lost you, Kevin. Good luck in the ether, buddy. Hey, Tom, I drug you in here so you could hear me. Welcome. Hey, guys, we got Tom. He's live.
Hello?
Hey, buddy. Hi.
Radva, Radva.
What's up, Tom?
Yes, problem. It's okay?
Nice. Here we go, buddy. Yep, I heard you. Yep. Blue cat ears for a 3 stack. Tom, man this.
More kills,
Man
more
this
bang.
gun. You're fine, never mind.
Grabbed a sniper.
We'll play it a little bit different.
Tango's closing in. Watch out! Hostiles have a sword.
Hey, nice shot.
What thoughts does chat have? For right now, it appears that nobody in the chat is thinking. Tripled up here. Tripled up here on my X. I'm glad that you're chatting, though. How's work today? Dude. Okay, we got a 4th now.
Another one down. Closing in.
Yoga?
Yep. Down here in the courtyard. I feel like they need to increase the distance of lunge for that sword in this mode because you can't run.
Oh,
Oof. Did I get him? I didn't get him. He lived. One on my X weak.
Power weapons on route.
no, yeah.
One there, Roger.
Tango's closing in.
Power weapons are here.
Got him.
Yep. Good job, Tom. Stay on that gun. One here. Top mid. Top mid. Top ring. Top ring. No eyes. No eyes, no ears. No eyes. Still no eyes. Over here, Tom. Over here. Yeah, over there. Good call. Good call. Oh, I'm down. I'm down next to you. You're alone, Tom. Sniper's to your right side.
Tango is closing in. Spartan down.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay, buddy. This is a great clean. I got this guy's sniper rifle now.
Kill the beater.
They're close.
Ah,
Enemy shields down.
There's one here.
Vaga, Vaga.
Keep your head down. Tango is closing in.
Oh, you are so much better than them.
Ah,
Energy sword inbound.
Enemy halfway to victory.
Energy sword available.
Another one down. They have the sword.
Nice stick, dude. I'm down.
oh, Vaga, Vaga.
Big guns and lots of funds are a combo.
7 is sniper.
Tango's closing in.
Power weapons. Let's go.
Two there, two there, two there. Back it out, back it out. There's here, they're here, they're here. One here. Oh.
Legion.
Kill.
Dzięki za karabin.
It ain't much, but it's honest work. Oh, you are so much better than them.
Ah. Krzyżowy ogień.
Enemy team
No
nearing
eyes.
victory.
There's one here.
Oh.
Pop their shield.
No co jest?
Plasma grenades.
Push him,
and
push him, push him.
5 minutes remaining.
Whoa, that was weird. You guys all saw that, right? Damn.
Pięknie. Brawo.
Got one over there, one over there.
Power weapons are on the way. Power weapons available.
I got two over here, I'm dead. I was the last one. I was the bad one that time. That one was rough.
Nie wiem. Czemu?
That one was rough. I was still positive, but my accuracy was down for sure.
Dobra, kopiuj.
My plan for tomorrow is to be here. We're currently under a weather advisory. It's supposed to start snowing today. It's not supposed to be very much. And then tomorrow we had snow in the forecast for tomorrow, but it looks like it's gone now. So it'll be just rain, cold and rain and shit for the next week or so. Sweet. I don't know why whacking with my hand and nothing is working. Yeah, I don't know, Tom. That's a hard one. Gotta keep it quiet because I don't have headphones for my work laptop. Does your work laptop have Bluetooth? You get yourself a headset. A gaming headset. Like Spartan John has. Sandwich. Love it. Crunchy peanut butter or oatmeal raisin? I'll go with the oatmeal raisins. Having a snack. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. He hits his face. That's fair, Tom.
Smacznego.
Here we go.
Slayer.
Bo panie, co mówiło. Dobra, później. Oh, cool. Ukłon.
Here we go. Like, share, subscribe, join the Discord.
Old school simplicity. More kills.
We should push to
more
overshield first. That's where they're gonna go. One here, one behind me. They're pushing alleyway towards Ovi.
Gain the lead.
Lost another one of that sniper.
Did we get the overshield? Do you know?
A, pięknie. Beautiful.
Tango's closing in. Pop their shields.
Ah,
We've lost a teammate.
no hype.
I'm down sniper on my axe. I was a shitter there.
Boom Legion. They're dead.
One inside the tent, backside of tent, backside.
Ow.
the lead.
Guy's really upset because I just stuck his dumb ass.
Overshield inbound.
Tango's closing in.
Overshield available.
Haha.
Ooh, one on my X, mid there.
Spartan down!
That was crappy.
Lost a teammate.
S7 inbound.
One on OV on my X.
Enemy Spartan.
Yeah, nope.
Another one down. Sniper, keep your head down.
Enemy halfway to
Oh. 28 to OV. Gotta protect. Watch this way. No eyes, no eyes, no eyes. 20 to OV. Here.
Tango's closing in.
Overshield inbound.
Oh shit, they pushed me. I'm dead. They're on overshield now. 2.
Overshield available.
Nope.
Dead. 1. OV. 2 there.
Boom Legion.
Wow, no way he got both of us. That's interesting. All right.
Oh, yeah.
victory.
S7 inbound. S7 available.
Ooh, 2 here on my X. 2 here. 20 to 12 to OV. I'm gonna take it if we can hold it.
Overshield inbound.
We're 4 to lose.
Overshield
I'm on the way with overshield.
Shields are down.
Double kill.
Enemy is below us.
Enemy shields are down.
Our shield's popped.
down.
They're dead.
Eyes up.
One to lose.
5 minutes remaining. Defeat.
Good try. Man, wow. All right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go refill my coffee one last time. I'm going to use the restroom. And then we'll keep playing. I'll see you in just a minute. Turning. Just making sure we still got the, oh, yep, okay. Hold on, I'm giving myself a stretch. You ready, Tom? You still here? We playing? Here we go.
Okay, dawaj, dawaj.
Yeah, woo! Oh. I'm gonna turn you guys back to the game camera so you guys can see the game.
Dawaj, dawaj, dawaj. Siadaj. Usiądź. Okay.
Hope you guys are enjoying today's little bit of programming that we got for you. It's a Thursday.
Cisza, równo.
I'm
Hey.
going to, when I'm done today, I'm going to go back to all those clips that you guys have been putting on for me. And we're going to use a program that my buddy Oakham made. And we're going to make some of those clips and upload them so you guys can see them to get bigger and more better interaction from from TikTok and Facebook and Instagram Reels and YouTube Reels. So betterness coming to the awesome because of you guys and all of your great help. I really can't do it without you guys. So I know today's kind of been a weird day. I was sort of quiet all day, and it's just sort of been out of it. Not, the last week or so, it's been really quiet. Are you guys all on vacation? Who knows? I'm glad to see that Nikki found us on YouTube today because she wasn't able to get Twitch going. I have had no issues today with the Twitch or the YouTube. All of that seems to be okay today. And the stream appears to be stabilized. It says I did drop 2% of my frames. I'm not sure how or what frames they were, but it's not terrible. 2% over 4 hours, not terrible. Here we go, Tom. Slayer.
Okay.
To win it, Slayer, just kill the other player.
Going for rockets.
Sweet boom tubes of Jericho.
I'm an overshield. Rockets are gone. Got an AFK here. No eyes.
Okay.
Banshee platform.
We've lost a teammate.
Muszę come.
Small snipes.
Killing spree.
Enemies below us.
Boom Legion.
Big snipes now. Big snipe tower now. 40-ish seconds to rockets.
No ammo. Sniper.
15 to camo. Or 15 to OV. I'm on it. We got one here pushing in.
Available.
Power items incoming.
Somebody go get rockets.
Power items on the field. Go get them.
Overshield I got. About 30 to about 30 to snipes. I got rockets. $30 to snipes. One mid there. One mid. I'm going for a sniper rifle.
Power weapons are on the way. S7 sniper in my hands. Well, your hands. Power weapons available.
Oh shit, on me. Oh, one here. Oh, he fell off.
Shields are down.
Hey, nice shot. You are so much better than them.
Halfway to victory.
Damn. 11 to overshield.
Powerful stuff coming from who knows where.
Somebody go for rockets.
Power items available.
Come on, man.
They're dead.
Bazooka straciliśmy.
Nice, thanks for the cover. Feels bad, man. Have I even died yet? I feel maybe I died. I can't tell you. Oh, still one there. Still one there at satellite. Weak. At shotgun now. 16 to overshield. I'm going to take it. All right, now I'm going to let Drifto take it. You want to drift?
Power
Okay,
items
never
on
mind,
the way,
never mind.
Spartan. We've got power items in play.
Sniper.
Sniper, Roger. Thanks, buddy.
Legion. SRS 99 S7 anti-materialism rifle obtained.
Victory.
Ah, two boosts. How was that?
Oh, one on me. One on me. Sniper mid. Sniper mid. At shotgun.
5 minutes remaining.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so I've died 4 times. One of my ex, it's small sniper. Two here, two here, two here on my X, two here at small sniper tower, small snipe tower. 10 seconds to rockets.
Power items incoming. Power items available.
Nope.
You're gonna be over here now. Yep, there's one right there.
Okay.
Good kill.
Feels bad, man. Did we get the rockets?
Power weapons en route.
One on sniper.
Okay.
Victory.
Nice. Good job, boys.
Spectacular.
Nice match. Nice match.
Bravo. Okay. Ja kończę.
Good stuff.
Okej, miło się grało. Cool. Dobranoc.
You taking off or you sticking around, Tom? You playing another game? Oh, good night. Okay, Tom, thank you. Have a great night, buddy. That was Tom. Now we're alone. What to do when we're alone? Dare not rank double. Rank Slayer alone. Yay. Oh, hey, we're gonna load into a match. Here we go. Shall we play tomorrow? Yeah, I'll be here tomorrow, Tom, if you're around. We'll be around. If I have a squad, then yeah, come and play with us, of course. Sorry, I'm taking some notes on something while I'm waiting for this match to load. Because I thought about something while I was thinking about this.
Slayer.
Slayer. Slayer. Slayer. Slayer. Explosive Ordnance Department meeting? Explosive Department.
Old school simplicity. More kills.
OV is
more
the play. Overshield is the play. Still overshield. Overshield is still there. Overshield is broken. Chip their sniper. One down.
Keep your head down.
I got no eyes. I got green. Our base. Blue base. Blue base.
Sniper, keep your head down.
I'm down. I'm down. One at blue pushing right. Blue base. Blue tower. Blue tower. Blue tower. One at blue tower.
Burst fire.
Gain the lead.
One here. Chipped him. Chipped him. One more there. One more there. One more there. Chipped him too.
What's a BXO?
I got one at red tower or red snipes. Not sure. Red tower. Here. 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 Nice job.
Legion.
Sniper is ours.
Use that sniper well.
Overshield in.
Overshield's the play soon. Pushing on you. One pushing on you.
My shield's popped.
One behind me. Behind me. Behind me. I'm down. I'm down. I'm down. In stairwell behind the base. There he. Ooh, overshield down there with you.
Lost the lead.
One down.
Thank you, sweet Savine.
Thanks for the sniper bag.
Reticle says they're dead. Power weapons are on the way.
Killing spree.
Two on green sniper. Blue tower sniper. Blue sniper. Blue sniper. Two on blue sniper. Somebody get red sniper. I'm at red. Sniper's gone. Okay. It's two of blue sniper. I'm with you, ads. Ads, here, blue tower, blue tower, blue tower. I chipped him. I'm weak. I'm recharging. Grenades going into blue tops. I'm going up. Fell off. Fuck, I fell off the map. Wow, whoops. Alright, I'm up. 19 to overshield. We're up 2. I'm on OV. Play's gonna be here.
Overshield inbound.
They're close.
He's there.
Under their shields.
I don't think... I didn't get it. I died. I don't think he knows he has it.
Nice shot.
Damn. One there, one there.
They're close.
He's chipped.
Shields are down.
Repulsor acquired.
Eyes up.
Oh, two at the bottom of this tower on my X.
Enemy halfway to victory.
Down 3.
We're going commando. Boom Legion.
I'm going for this sniper. Red base sniper. 20 seconds.
Closing in.
Watch blue base snipes. Watch blue base snipes as well. 10 seconds to snipes. Got one here.
Powerful stuff coming from who
Right
knows
here.
where.
No eyes.
We've got power items in play.
I got one here, one here, one here. Pushing me here, red.
Gained the lead.
Another one down.
I'm recharging.
In my sights.
Two here.
Spartan down.
Two here. One here.
5 minutes remaining.
No eyes.
Lost the lead.
Lost a teammate.
No eyes. Down one right now. I'm at blue base. One here. I'm down. One on my X with sniper now. With sniper. Blue base bottoms. Hey, Adam. How's it going? Oh, plays OV 4 seconds. 3 seconds. 2 seconds.
Overshield.
I got overshield and I've used it. Tied 38. Tied at 38. One up now. 40. I'm dead. I don't know how. Did I still have Ovi right there when I traded with him? I can't tell.
Enemy Spartans are closing in. Lost a teammate.
Big guns and lots of funds are a coming.
Doing okay. We're just playing a little ranked alone at the moment.
Power weapons. Let's go. SRS-99 S7 anti-materialism rifle obtained.
Tango's closing.
Here, one.
Down there! Tango's closing in!
Right there. There's also one here somewhere. No eyes.
Victory.
Victory. Nice win, boys. Nice job. I see. Yeah, we won. We read for a couple hours today. It's weird. We started about 6 pages out. Do you want to head something important? What do you mean? Anyway, we read some of the book today. We started in the middle of a chapter. We ended in the middle of a chapter. Sort of just the way it happened today. Sorry about that. I hope you enjoy it. Well, when you do get to it. I enjoyed making it. Yeah. Invited me to play. Let's see here. What was my last match? I was 13, 10, and 5. 40% stats. Wow, okay. We went up 13. Huh. Huh. Do you want to hear something important? Even on Halo still exists, and the company know about it. What did you want to say? Yeah. I mean, say what you got to say in the chat there. That's fine. 40 minutes or 20 minutes left. 20 minutes left. Try to climb the rank Slayer tree again. See what happens. Sorry, while we're waiting to load, I'm just drawing my. I'm designing a board for walls for a convention booth. Pretty cool.
Slayer.
Here we go. Again. Okay, so the last product coming in we heard about is the leads from the hospital.
To win it, Slayer. Just kill the other
Okay.
player.
Is this new book lore, Adam?
Overshield is mine.
With you guys.
Seen a bandit that effective since the 80s. S7 inbound.
Double kill. Gained the lead.
Sniper in 2. I'm heading that way.
S7 available.
We lost a teammate.
S7 sniper in my hands. Well, your hands.
Wow, that was a great shot. Feels bad, man. No eyes.
Energy sword available.
Enemy there.
Roger, moving. Pull out of there. I got you covered with snipes. No eyes. No eyes. One. One here. He's leaking this way.
Killing spree.
Oh, it's in Glasslands. Okay. I'm not done with it yet. No eyes. One.
Lost the lead.
Nades in. One here, one here.
Inbound.
Enemy Spartans are closing in.
2 here. Still one here.
Overshield available.
Still one here.
In my sights.
No eyes. Oof. You got me too. Sniper sword on my X. Up on that right side. Oh no, he didn't take the sniper. He's just up there with the sword.
Tango's closing in.
He's got sniper now. He's weak. Nice job.
Up your shields.
17 seconds to sniper again. I'm pushing that way.
S7 inbound.
1 second. I'm almost there.
S7 available. Energy
Someone's
sword
here already?
inbound. Energy sword available.
Sniper on my X inside a waterfall. He's moving left side of
Overshield inbound.
the temple now. One here, down here, down here. Nice job. Great kill.
Sniper.
Overshield available.
Enemy there.
I'm at sword spawn, no eyes. Going to dynamos. I got dynamos. I picked up stalker. Heading to high point. No eyes. Nice stab. Guy got what he deserved. Read the last part last week when I was making. Oh, okay, gotcha. Sorry, give me a second. I'll come back to that in just a moment. I'll reread it and make myself more familiar with what you're saying. One here, one here. Okay. Have a good one. I'll at the end I'll read back and see what you said and give you my response for when I see you next time. Have a great day, buddy. I'm here with you on Ovi.
Overshield inbound.
8 seconds. Here.
Overshield available.
Here it is, take it. He's moving left.
Shields are down.
Energy sword inbound. Full metal racket. S7 inbound.
Guy's dead. Sniper inbound.
Energy sword available.
You're clear to. Yep, there you go.
S7 available. You never had
Oops.
the moves.
I'm done.
Halfway to victory.
Still one here.
Five minutes.
Got no eyes. I got one here. No way. Ran out of stalker ammo. Boo. There's one over there by you, Alex. Hey, Kevin, how you doing, buddy? Welcome back.
Still no electric.
Still no power. Holy
Overshield
cow.
inbound.
Have you been winning?
Oh, yeah, not this match. Well, this match we're one ahead, but I'm playing like garbage sack. I'm right side at Waterfall. I have Commando. No eyes. I got Disruptor in Commando. I also have Repulsor now. No eyes.
Energy sword inbound. S7 inbound. Energy sword available. Oh, sweet baby blade of mine.
Just saw one at, yep, at Sniper.
S7 available.
Oof. Feels bad, man.
A clean sword kill is like the scent
Like
of a
the
lover.
scent of a lover. one over here.
Overshield inbound.
One over here.
Aim small, miss small. Overshield available.
Moving. No eyes. Anybody got a mark? No eyes. I'm in the temple. One here. One here.
1 minute remaining.
Nice job. No eyes.
Seconds
Right here. One here.
remaining.
Energy sword inbound.
Ten seconds.
No eyes.
Overshield inbound. Energy sword available.
Enemy there. Nearing victory.
Alright, we'll take another one. Thanks, boys. Great game. That's, I just played, after Tom left, Kevin, all I did was play, ranked, Slayer alone
Oh,
for the last
okay.
few matches. And I think we won all 3 of them, or 2 of them, 2 or 3 of them that I've played. He's been gone for maybe 2 matches, I'm not sure. I'm almost, there we go, plus 10, 781 of 800. I'll make it into gold 5 if I keep going like this. Going up slowly. Still no power. Wow.
Yep.
So check this out. We're going to shut down the Halo. And I'm going to show you guys. So what I figured out was I was gonna debrief you guys, and I'll show you what happened. So we'll use the PGA game, for instance. So we were having a problem where the cloud was not loading. And you guys saw what was happening. It turns out that proprietarily, with my motherboard, comes some software that gets loaded up when you install the Gigabit suite to do all the tuning on your motherboard. And one of the things that it sends you is this thing that changes your it changes the way that you wow, that is loud. I just got a message. Hold on, I'm trying to find it.
Are you still broadcasting?
Yes, I am. I'm trying to show everybody what has happened. So anyway, so what happens is this thing that came with the motherboard as part of the software that installs with Windows when you're doing all your tuning and you're getting all of your stuff. It's part of the Gigabit App Center, and it automatically installs. And what it does is it's supposed to filter your connection, your internet connection, and limit things from going out and coming in that it thinks it thinks you don't want. So what it was doing was, no matter what we did, we tried to fix it. But you can see here, there's no lag at all. Everything is as responsive as it should be, and you can play the games. So what we found out was when we uninstalled that program, now that we're done tuning the motherboard, it's no longer filtering certain signals that are inside of the game. And so now seemingly at least for today, the cloud portion of the streaming service appears to be fixed. So man, really, really, really cool stuff. We'll be able to play some other games and things more readily as things progress. Just sending a message. I always put out comms.
It's good you figured it out.
Yeah, I think we'll see how it works. We'll see how it works. See how it figures it out, and if it continues to persist or if it is fixed from there. I promised Lord Adam I'd check what he said. He said. He said this because the book we heard the elite speaking to Osman about Jesus Christ and comparing him to the forerunner. Another very important thing I have to say when you're reading is good because when he gets to the intent. Thank you for that. Oh, okay. You read the part last week when Osman was making a deal. That's true. I did. I remember that. Well, there you go. Yeah. I appreciate you. Thanks, Lord Adam. Enjoy the books, man. Always enjoy the books. Check it out, guys. The end of the awesome is now. We're 3 hours and 58 in. There's not a chance to play another game. I'm Spartan John. This has been awesome. Like, share, subscribe. It helps us out directly. We're on YouTube and Twitch. Again, for anybody that finds us, we're cosplayers, we're gamers. We play mostly Halo. We read the books on Thursdays, and we go out and meet you guys in conventions and all of that. I'll be back tomorrow at 10 a.m. Pacific for another day of awesome. Depending on who shows up, we'll either play some ranked like we did today. We'll play some Husky Raid, which is our favorite modes, or something. We'll figure it out. It'll be an awesome Friday. Join the Discord if you want unfettered access to a group of people like me who love to play the games, including the Halo collector. Join the Discord. Why haven't you already? It's craziness, you guys. Come on. Anyway, I'm Spartan John. This was awesome today. I'm awesome. You're awesome. Be awesome. Stay awesome always, and on behalf of everyone, thank you for being awesome with us in this place, the Spartan Space, which is the Discord. And it's only awesome because you guys come and be awesome with me, okay? Don't forget that. Days like today, sometimes it's important to remember how awesome we all are. Stay awesome, my friends, and we'll see you again soon. Have a great one. Bye-bye.